Anna Mae, how you doing? Uh, Sorry I'm a little slow getting around. Uh, I was having trouble with my camera. It wasn't working. And then I had trouble with my mic. It wasn't working either. So that's what happens when you don't do anything for a week. Uh, as you may know, or you may not know, I went back to Indiana last week. My mother passed away. So I went home for the funeral. Uh, I got back on Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon. I've just been kind of relaxing. Today's the first time I really got out and did any running around. Uh, it's about 850 miles one way from where I live to my hometown. And so, yeah, I took 2 days. Hey, Jaylene. Hey, Melinda. How you doing? Uh, Not only was it a sad trip because my mom passed away, my oldest sister fell and hurt herself really bad. She ended up in the hospital. She just got back to her hometown or uh, yesterday. She's in the rehabilitation center. She going to be there for a while until she gets back to normal. Hopefully, it won't be too long. But she was in the hospital in Terre Haute until, like I said, yesterday. And then they got a nurse, a traveling nurse that traveled with her from the hospital in Terre Haute. There's two hospitals from Regional to Leroy, New York, which is close to where she lives. It's where, matter of fact, is where I used to live when I lived up there. But she was having a lot of problems, a lot of pain. My sister happens to be, well, she's born with a real bad curvature of the spine. And so she's had that kind of problem the whole time. And so it's kind of tough on her. Normally, that's why she flew. She was in Indianapolis, was going to get her rental car, and she fell. And she ended up driving herself to Terre Haute. And then when she got there, she just couldn't move. Had to have help getting out of the car. They had to call an ambulance and to come get her, take her to the hospital. Now, her oldest son, he came in the day after. She fell on Wednesday. He came in on Thursday. And he was planning on coming in on Thursday. He tried to talk his mom into waiting to Thursday and come in with him, but she wouldn't do it. And he was planning on going home on Sunday, the day after he lives in Florida with his wife. And he was planning on going back on Sunday to be back with his wife. But because my sister fell, he stayed till Friday. And so he left Friday with his mom and I. She had to go with a nurse. They had to put her in a wheelchair and take her by van. He had a rental car. He had to return to Indianapolis. So he drove up behind him. They caught the flights. My sister ended up in Leroy, and my nephew David, the oldest nephew I have, he's in his mid-50s. He went back to Florida and to be with his wife. Now they have two sons, but both their sons are in college. Oh no, the oldest son's graduated from college already, and the youngest son is a sophomore. He's in his second year of college. He's just finishing that up. They're in South Carolina, I believe. It might be North Carolina. I can't remember which, but one of the Carolinas, going to school there. And so while I was home, I got to visit with my nephew Dave more than I normally would have, but I would have rather not have to visit with him that way. Leela and Lila, how you doing? Welcome. I don't know how long we're going to go today. Remember, Melvie has her giveaway today. That'll be sometime after 9, so we'll go for a little while. But I hope everybody's having a good time. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, I was not praying for my mom to pass away, but as you all know, I said I wouldn't move. Hey, Anna G, I wasn't going to move until after my mom passed, so she's passed. So now I'm starting to set things up so I can move hopefully first part of next year. And I do mean the very first part of it, like January or February, if I can do it. So I got to start saving more money, so which means I'm going to have to start spending a little less. I bought something that if my mom would have passed away a couple of months earlier, I would have never bought, but that's all right. I'm not buying anything more for my house or my apartment. I'm done buying stuff unless it's absolutely necessary. I don't care if it'll make things a little easier or not, because easy is not what I'm after now. What I'm after now is to get my life situated around, get my life uncluttered, and start preparing to move. Because all the stuff I have, I don't know if I'll take any of it. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. That lets me present or invite. Okay, I've not seen that before. I want to try something. Well, no, let's do it here. I want to try something. I tried to see if I could set my Nightbot up, so let's see if it worked. Hey, we got my Nightbot back. Hey, girlie, how you doing? So everybody, if you want the Nightbot, let me put that banner back up. And there you go. The Nightbot is working. Elmira, how you doing? Welcome. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, man? Come on up. The Nightbot's working, guys, if you want to put in the triple L. But like I said, I do plan on moving to the Philippines. And like I said, it was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. So it's still a matter of when. I'm hoping to be able to do it by January or February. My contract, my leasing, my rental agreement expires at the end of February next year. So if I can do it, I'll do it by then. If not, I'll have to extend. I won't extend for a year. I will be extended probably by the month, unless they let me do a couple months at a time. The only thing I've heard of is 1 month extensions. So we'll see. And so, yeah, right now the plan is, like I said, is to get myself back on track, start saving more money so I can move to the Philippines. And like I said, I am planning on going to Cebu. That's my goal, is to get to Cebu, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, I don't know if I'll stay in Cebu. It may be too large for me. I've always been a smaller city guy. And when I say smaller city, I mean like 100,000 or so. And we got Jerry coming up. Hey, Jerry, welcome.
Hey, how's the audio and how's the video?
And picture, oh man, you guys got hammered with some rain, didn't you?
Yeah, my hometown, we had 14 inches of rain, but the city that I go vlog, they had between 18 and 22 inches of rain.
Okay, you can see the field is flooded.
Yeah,
it's probably gone down a little bit, probably, right?
It went down a lot from what it was.
Okay.
Went down maybe a foot.
Yeah. Ende.
Yeah. So
it looks like a lake with an island in it, or a pond with an island.
It was we got tremendous rain on Thursday.
Yeah.
Just rain all day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cars on the expressway and a lot of the roads that are just, you know how people like to risk it and then, you know
Oh
how they
yeah.
say, don't turn around, don't drown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
people, a
yeah. They
lot
like
of, yeah, they
a lot of
just,
people got stuck, didn't they?
many vehicles in all the cities,
Yeah.
basically the whole area.
Yeah.
You just saw
Well,
cars everywhere.
yeah. Hello, Nicole and Steve. How you doing? Like I said, though, well, you've heard me say it before. I'm planning on moving to the Philippines after my mom passed. Well, like I said, last Saturday was my mom's funeral, and right now, I'm looking at maybe, like I said, my lease is through the end of February next year, so I'm looking to try to get out of here by that time. If I can, I may leave in January and just pay for a month uh, rent that I'm not going to be here. You know, I don't mind that if I can swing it. I
You're
I
at
really would
full.
like I really would like to quit working in December, at the end of December, and not have that carry over for my tax purposes
Yeah, for the
the
taxes.
next year. You know, but if I have to, I have to, and that will depend on how much money. I just spent a good amount going home because I didn't stay with my sisters. I was originally one of my nephews was going to stay there, and that was, and then that changed. But by the time that changed, and that's before my sister fell, it changed. But by the time that changed, I'd already made all my reservations, which means if I canceled, I was going to be paying some money anyway. Because by the time I found out it was changed, it was too late. Now I probably could have canceled some of it in Terre Haute, but I didn't feel like doing that, and so I spent some money. I mean, not a lot, but like I said, it's like 850 miles one way from where I live to where I was staying. Uh, so that's about 1,700 miles round trip. You're talking, what was it, 6, 7 days of hotel stays total. And then the gas, and now the food, I didn't spend as much money on food as a lot of times I would because here in my part of the country, or where I'm from, a lot of times the church people, which my mom and my sisters all belong to, my mom's belonged to the same church almost her entire life. I think her family helped build the church when she was about 6. She died at 99, never changed church. So she was in the same church for over 90 years. My sisters grew up in that church, and they're in their 70s, so they've been at the same church for. My 2 sisters have been in the same church for over 70 years. And like I said, a lot of churches will feed the family, and then you have neighbors that will cook and bring food over for the family. And so we did buy some food because there's certain things I like that that we bought, but a lot of the times we didn't spend a lot of money on food. And even when we did, we took turns buying. Like I bought, my nephew bought, my sisters bought. We all took turns. And then naturally I had to buy the food when I'm traveling. But I left on a Thursday morning, and I got back on a Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon. So I was gone for almost a week. And Thursday, when I got back, I didn't leave my apartment. I really didn't do much of anything. I don't know if I took more than 1,500 steps the whole day just around my apartment. I mean, I opened the door once or twice to look outside just to see, because it can be sunny as all get out here, and it can be cold. And so, and it can be raining and it can be warm. You just don't know. Today got up around, what was it? Around 5 degrees Celsius for the high, about a 1 degree for the low Celsius. which is about, we got up to around 40 for the high Fahrenheit and about 34, 35 for the low. So it was a cool day today. Yesterday was a little warmer. Yesterday was very sunny. But like I said, I didn't feel like going anywhere. Didn't feel like doing anything really. I did on yesterday. I did walk down and check on my. No, I did. Yeah, no, I didn't leave the apartment yesterday either. I did get up and do some things, but I did more. But I didn't really leave. Today I got out, ran around, did some shopping, checked on my mail a couple of times. I checked on the mail when I first got up and left. The mail, I saw the mailman come in later, so I went down and checked on that. The first time there wasn't any mail. Second time, junk mail mostly. But I also took my trash down, my recyclables and stuff like that. And so that's all I really did today. I got around 5,000 steps in. It's about 2 to 3 times more than I have done the last couple of days each day. About double the time if you added the two together. Like I said, I was very lazy the last 2 days before this. I'll get out and do some more tomorrow. Pamela, how you doing, Pamela? Welcome. Thank you for coming. Linda, you too. I want to say hi to you both. Like I said, I don't know how long we'll go today. I do want to remind everybody that LV is having her March giveaway today. I believe she's giving away rice. I could be wrong. That'll be.
LV does a lot of streams pretty late. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, she'll stream around 9:30, around 9:30.
So our time is mid morning over there.
Yeah, that'll be early morning, and that'll be. So, like I said, I'll finish this up before that. Take a little break, and then I'll probably join her live stream. I helped sponsor this one, so.
I was at before here. I was at the Talks live stream. Her uncle passed away, and she's in Davao.
Okay.
So that's where I was at right before I came here.
What's that?
Right before I came to your stream, that's where I was at. Talks live stream.
I'm sorry to hear her uncle passed away. I'm sorry to hear anybody passed away.
Yeah, well, her uncle is.
My sister goes home from our mom's funeral. She falls and ends up in the hospital.
Oh, no.
That was a bad weekend, especially for her.
Yeah.
She flew in on Wednesday last week, and like I said, now my sister's 10 years older than I am. She's 81, and this is my oldest sister. And she was born with a real bad curvature of the spine, and it's getting a lot tougher now for her to drive, long distances like that. So she flew. Now her youngest son and her oldest son both tried to talk her into waiting and going with her oldest nephew. He was going to fly. He's flying in from Florida. So he said, "Look, I'll fly to New York, meet up with you, and we'll fly into Indianapolis and rent a car and go in together." Oh, no, she wasn't waiting. She wanted to go that day earlier. She had to go. She's like a lot of people in my family, stubborn. I will say that. Most of us are stubborn in my family. So that's what she did. And she was taking one of those like moving sidewalks in the airport. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what they call it. She was taking that, and I guess she wasn't paying a lot of attention. And when it came to the stop, threw her off balance. She fell, landed on her back, which, like I said, she's got a real bad curvature of the spine, and she hit her head. And, well, like I said, my sister, if it wasn't for the curvature, she stands about, 4'11", 5 foot. If it wasn't for the curvature of the spine, she'd be about 5'2". That's how bad the curvature is. It takes that much height off of her. And you can see that she's handicapped when you see her. I mean, it's very noticeable. And but like I said, she was born this way, so it's something she's quite used to, and has dealt with. But like I said, as she gets older, it gets a little tougher to deal with it because it causes a little more pain. The sitting in the car for long hours. So that's why she flew, which I don't blame her. But she should have waited for her son to go with her, my oldest nephew. But like I said, she's stubborn. And I'll tell you how tough the old bird is. All right, this is how tough my sister is. She fell in Indianapolis. All right, she gets herself to the rental car place, gets her rental car, drives from Indianapolis to Terre Haute, which is about an hour or a little over drive. She's staying in the south end of Terre Haute. She gets to the hotel and I think she got out of the car, but she couldn't do anything else. She had to have help with everything. So they called an ambulance for her finally. And she was in a lot, because of her back the way it is, when she hurts her back, it causes spasms, a real lot of spasm, which causes a lot of pain for her. And it takes a long time. The worse she gets hurt, the longer it takes for the spasms to calm down. And they had her drugged up. She wasn't making sense for a long time because she was so drugged up. Now, I because of everything else going on, I didn't go see my sister till Monday. Because like I said, she was so drugged up. When you talked to her, she didn't make sense. So I went to see her Monday. Now, she's making sense on Monday. And according to my nephew, she said, you wouldn't believe the difference between yesterday and today. And like I said, when I talked to her, I could believe it by the way she talked. So I visit with her. He went and got his lunch, and I visit with my sister for a while. But I mean, you can tell that she's out of it a little bit by, like I said, how she acts and everything. And so I leave on Tuesday morning because, like I said, it's an 850 mile drive. I'm not doing that in one day. So I left on Tuesday. And they were planning on, it sounded like they were hoping to get her out on Friday. My nephew was making all these calls, trying to get everything set up. They have these medical, I can't remember. Hey, Denz, Charmaine, how you guys doing? Treatment things that, they'll assign a nurse, and a nurse will travel with you as a traveling nurse. So they was transporter, which they did. They transported her from the regional hospital in South Terre Haute to Indianapolis on a wheelchair van because she wasn't well enough to get in the car. So they flew her to, I don't know, Rochester or Buffalo. She lives about halfway in between. And then from there, they got her, put her on another wheelchair van. And they drove her to Leroy, which is a little village I used to live in. Probably about 15,000 people, maybe a little more, but not real big. And but anyway, so they drove her there, got her into the nursing, the rehabilitation center, and depends on how quick she recovers, how long she'll have to stay. But from what everybody's telling me, she's doing a really good job recovering. She's a lot better than she was. So I hope she does. I'll end up going up and visiting her sometime. Probably maybe next week. I don't know yet. But
never a good sign when you fall.
Just
at 50, you're alone.
Right back. And so yeah, we'll get up there and see her, whether it's on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't know yet. See how much better she's doing. I know on one day she said she felt so much better. She felt more like a human because for the first time since she was in the hospital, she could actually take a shower. She felt well enough to do that. And that was Monday night. After I left, she was able to feel good enough to take a shower. So that made me happy to hear that she's feeling that much better. But yeah, so like I said, it was it was good to see my family. But it was a really bad reason to go, sad reason I should say. Because like I said, but my mom got her wish. She always said she didn't want to live to be 100, so she didn't make it to 100. So, and my mom's in a better place. Like I said, she was suffering from dementia. And it would come and go. I mean, there would be times she'd know everybody, and there'd be times she didn't know anybody. And like I told you before, I believe I told you all, my last time seeing my mother, she didn't remember who I was. And every time before that, she knew me. So I kind of bummed me out at that time. And then, this time as well. It was, what can I say? But if everything goes right next year, I'll be in the Philippines there, Jerry. What do you say to that?
Yeah, you'll be in Visayas.
Yeah, I plan on starting off in Cebu. And Cebu may be too large of a city for me, but it's a good place to land, set up a home base, and then if it doesn't suit me, I can look around at other places. But I know me, I'm going to love it for the first month or two, maybe more. Just because, let's be honest about it. It's something I've been looking forward to doing. And so it's going to, it'll take a while before the newness wears off and the excitement of being able to do it. But that's all right. That's why you say it's the first place you're going. You don't say it's your guarantee it you're in unless you've been there before. I've never been to Cebu. I've been to the Philippines, but never Cebu. Subic Bay is where I was at, Longapo. That's where I've been, but I want a city that's large enough that they'll have a good hospital and some Western food. Let's be honest about it. You're going to miss that kind of stuff if you don't have it around. I'm not going to say you need to eat it every day. I'm not going to say anything like that. Because I know I'll eat some of the Filipino cuisine, and I'll cook some myself, probably for myself. I'm not adverse to cooking. That's what I do now. I just fix myself some pork tonight, and I was lazy. I bought the pre-made macaroni and cheese. That's what I had for supper. I'll cook a couple steaks tomorrow night. I'll undercook one and take that to work because when you warm it back up in the microwave, it cooks it more. So if you cook it the way where you want it, you warm it back up, and then it's overcooked. And so that's tomorrow night's supper is a steak. And I'll fix two of them, and I'll take one to work on Monday. Or maybe Tuesday because I got a couple pork chops left that I'll take to work as well. But, that's, we all got to do something. But like I said, right now I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, a lot larger than I need. When you add all the square footage up, I got a huge bedroom. I don't need a bedroom anywhere near this large. I wouldn't mind if my living room was a little larger, but you could take that out. That's only because my living room and dining room is one room. My kitchen's small, my bathroom's small, but those are both large enough for me. But who knows? I may look for a studio or a 1-bedroom is what I'll be looking for, one or the other. But they're smaller in the Philippines than they are here in the States. So a 1-bedroom might be the right size over there. Hey Dan, Minnie, how you doing? Just talking about how I hope to be in the Philippines early next year. My lease runs out, Dan, in February next year. So I hope to be able to move by the end of February next year, if not before. I probably wouldn't do it before January, but end of January, end of February is where I'd like to move to the Philippines. But let's see if I can get the money put aside that I need to put aside. And I do know this, I will not sign another 1-year lease. I'll sign a month to month after this if I have to. So it may be advantageous, even if I don't have quite the money I want, to go ahead and leave in February. I'll get over to these used furniture places and see how much they'll get me for all of it. They can have it. I mean, I doubt if I take a computer or a laptop with me. I may take a laptop, but if I do, I'll probably buy a new one and get rid of the two, because the two I have are over 4 or 5 years old. Each one, one's older than that. The other one's, one's at least 5 years old. The other one's older. So,
Yeah, they're old already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're not worth taking.
No.
The one I still play on once in a great while, but it's not worth taking to the Philippines. And I don't know what it would cost me to transfer this desktop. And the desktop is, oh God, it's 4 or 5 years old. It's about 4 years old, maybe older, about 5 years old actually. So all of my computers are old compared to, you know what I'm saying. So are they worth taking? And I mean, I have a real nice monitors. I have two really nice monitors. They're both 27 inches. The one that I'm using right now is a Curve. I got one I got packed up and put away because I used to use both of them, but I don't anymore. I used to use one with one of my laptops, and because I was at a computer set up in my bedroom and one of my living room. I was living in Leroy, and so it was kind of nice to have that. And but now, like I said, it's just I don't use them that much, and so. But yeah, we're like I said, we're just trying to get everything done and save as much money as I can. Like I said, I did spend quite a bit of money, but it was for my mother's funeral, so it was worth every dime. I'm not regretting that. And I knew I was going to have to do that for it. And so, but like I said, it was money that I had to cover it. It was already in the bank. It's not like I'm in debt for it. It's just that some of the money I had saved is now gone. But that's easy enough to replace. I can replace what I spent. I could probably replace in a month. All right, that's how much I'm trying to put back each month. More than enough to replace what I spent this last week. So if everything goes right, we don't run into any financial difficulties for some other reason, by the end of the year, I should be almost set up to go, if not set up to go. And so any of you that are in Cebu, hopefully I'll see some of you. Well, you know, I'll need a week or so to recoup. When I get there, I should be more than that. But you'll know I'm there. You'll know I'm there when I say, guess where I'm at. So I may buy a really nice laptop before I go. So I'll have a computer with me. Yeah, but Dan, I don't want to ship over my my laptops. They're 5, 6 years old or older. The newest one's at least 5 years old, and the other one's even older. So I might do the desktop. I might send that over. Because I do have the boxes for the. I believe I have the boxes for everything for the desktop. So you put it in your boxes with the styrofoam, the packing and all that. I saved all that, and then you put that in that bionic. How do you pronounce that word? Box.
The bayan.
Yeah, bionic to bayan, and then ship it over. So I may do that with the desktop, but I won't do it with the laptops. And I won't send that over until I know where I'm at. So I'll have to have it packed up and have somebody to ship it for me when the time comes, when I can give them the right address where to send it to. And so we'll do that. And there's a good chance I'll send a couple other things over with that. Like I don't plan on taking my photo albums and stuff with me. If I send a box, I'll send that stuff in a box. Either that or I'll pack up an extra, not a carry-on, but an extra bag to check, a check bag to take some of that stuff. But I won't do it with the desktop. That'll either have to be shipped by Amazon box or not at all. And so we'll see. And maybe get it upgraded when I get over there. But I wouldn't mind taking the desktop if I could. We'll check into that as well. I got to check into what is that? The Army. It's not AARP. It's AA. Is it USAA? I think it's USAA, the credit union. I got to check into that. Start putting some money into that here sometime this summer. Kelsey, how you doing? Because that's what I'll use overseas. I'll use that to get my money out. So I'll end up having probably either Bank of America and USAA, or I'll just have USAA. I haven't decided. I'm leaning towards trying to have both. Set up so much money going to the American Bank of America for emergency funds, and then so much going to the USAA with a lot already in there for my monthly living expenses. Crystal, how you doing? Thank you for coming. And so those are the things I got to start looking into, things I got to start setting up. I wish I could set up a Filipino phone. I do have one I think that'll work over there. It's an old phone, so I'll probably take that one with me as well.
A smartphone?
See if I can
or
get
flip,
it up to
or a
use.
flip phone?
What's that?
Flip phone or a smartphone?
A smartphone, but it's an old one.
You can buy one over there for 5,000 pesos. Unless you're really into the camera and all that. You can buy it cheap.
This got the camera. It's a decent name brand. It's a Chinese made, but it's also I think, a dual SIM.
You can buy Oppo and Vivo and many Realme, a lot of those for under 7,000 pesos. When I went in 2019.
Might as well take it and see how well it works. If it doesn't work, then I can buy one.
Yeah, it's a SIM card that you gotta.
I'm just going to try to see because it still works. I don't have a SIM in it that works, but I can get on the internet with it. It's got a SIM in there that's not supported anymore.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
an
can
old
get on
one.
the internet with it and use it. I could take videos and stuff with it still.
Same with me with the Samsung.
This is
the SIM doesn't work.
HAW or whatever it is. It's a Chinese brand. And,
Not sure that one.
So I'm going to take it. I'll take my Samsungs as well. But you know, I don't know how well those will work. I don't think these have SIM cards in them.
Not the 20. If you got the 25, it doesn't have the SIM anymore.
One of them is a 25. Yeah. So I don't know how well that will work over there.
The 24, I think it still had the SIM, but not the 25.
Yeah. Well, I believe this was the 25. I'm not sure about this one. And but like I said, the other one, they're both 5K. I mean 5G, but I'm not sure. I know one's a 25. I'm not sure about the other.
Yeah, but now you just do what I did in 2019, and I just bought a cheap Vivo phone for 5K. I wasn't worried about the camera quality because I still had my Samsung with me, but it was just to use for calls
Like I
and
said, the one I'm going to take with me, that's going to be the one I'll use uh, with the Filipino number and everything.
with
And
what's the country code for the Philippines?
I don't know.
63.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about the
The country
like
code, not the area code.
yeah.
The country code.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen
Six.
6-3 on a lot of things and a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, 63 because Mexico is 52.
The U.S. is
And
one, isn't it?
on this phone that I have, my Xiaomi, it's got a Mexican SIM card, and the US, the T-Mobile. So I have the Mexican SIM card. Right now, it doesn't have a load,
Yeah.
but it's 52 in Mexico and 63 in the Philippines.
Jerry, just to let you know, Abby G saying hi to you, me, and Dan.
Oh, Abby. So you just say to Abby, magandang umaga,
Yeah. But
magandang gabi, dito.
Dan's telling me to set up a Google Fi phone.
Oh, yeah, like a VoIP.
But,
I'm gonna start getting ready. I'm gonna sign off pretty soon because I'm gonna see if Talks is still streaming.
she's still streaming. Tell her I'm sorry to hear about her uncle.
Yeah, her uncle passed, and she's in Davao. Dan was there earlier.
Yeah. Who?
Dan's retirement journey, Philippines bound.
Yeah. Dan's
He
here
was
at this one.
Yeah, I can't see the chat.
I know. That's why I said. That's why I told you he's here.
Yeah, Dan was over there, and I was there a little bit, but I took 2 drone videos. I'm gonna see if they came out good. If they did, then I upload them.
Okay. All right, then.
I don't
You
want
take
to.
care of yourself, man. Be safe.
Likewise, and we chat next time. I so good night
All right.
and goodbye, all. I'm gonna
All
sign
right.
out.
Take care. Now,
Likewise.
Dan, about the Google Fi, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm going to get USAA. They don't care if you're in the States or not. They will reimburse your so many ATM fees, but that's why a lot of ex-military people go with USAA because they are used to dealing with a lot of retired military people who live overseas. So that's my understanding. They won't care. So, like I said, I am going to check into that. And if that's the way it is, I may transfer everything over to USAA, and I may not. I have to make that decision whether I want 2 banks or one. I may go with if I go with 2 banks, I'll set up a savings account and put so much money into that, and have that there, and then have my Social Security deposited into that, and I can make my decision how much to put into savings each month, depending on what I spend that month. So I'm leaning towards doing that, but I want to make sure that I'm correct about them not caring if you're overseas. Everybody I've talked to that used them, on the internet, everybody that's talked about using them, that's the way they seem to talk about it. So I will check into that. If not, then I'll probably have to go with Google Fi. But yeah, I'll see how much it'll cost me just to keep my phone registered here and just use it when I need to. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, right now, that's things I have to start checking into. There's not much I really have to check into. I know pretty much what I got to do. I'm here probably sometime in the fall. I'll try to set up one of those mailboxes that you use that's not actually your address. You set it up and they will check your mail for you. It costs you 10, 15 bucks a month. They can deposit your checks if you get a check sent to you. They can, you can tell them to read the mail. They can either fax it to you or mail it to you to your address. But it's a service that you have. So you have a local address in the States. So I'll check into that. But that'll be more towards the fall. There's no sense worrying about it this far away because I don't want to set it up this far in advance. Probably somewhere around, start checking into it somewhere around September. That'll give me plenty of time to get it set up before I go. And I'll know more in September whether or not I can be going at the first of the year or not. So, excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. I have PayPal. I don't have the debit card though. So I'll check into that. I also have Vroom or whatever they call it, the other money transfer thing. But yeah, I already have PayPal. That's what I said, Dad. I don't know if I will or not. If USSA doesn't care that I'm in the Philippines, then I won't keep an American phone. I just won't do it. It doesn't make sense. Both my phones are paid for. I paid cash for them when I bought them. So I didn't want expenses. Hey, Beth, how you doing? I don't know if I'm going to keep the Bank of America or not. That's the one right now that my Social Security is going into. It depends on how much of a hassle it's going to be to split my Social Security payments. If I can have so much going into the Bank of America and then the rest going into the USSA, I may do it. I may keep two. But if I can't, then it's all going to go into the one that gives me the less hassle about being overseas. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, Beth. And I hope you are having a really nice Monday morning. I know it's Monday morning over there. And so, yeah, we're just, like I said, we're just trying to make sure we get ourselves set up so that if I can't do it in January or February next year, I'm going to move over to the Philippines. Two of my sisters are all for it. Two of them are, and it's more because they're not going to be able to see me, but we don't see each other that much right now. So we'll see. I'll check into it, Dad, but like I said, I'm going to find out about the other. And if they don't care about it, I may not get to Google Fi. But like I said, we're looking at, 8 months? No, we're looking at more than that. We're looking at about 10 months before I would even think about moving over. I'd say 10 to 11 months, about 10 months, probably be the earliest. So we got plenty of time to start checking into that stuff. Yes, we're going to start checking into it. Don't get me wrong. Just saying, I'm not feeling pressure to do it right now. I may do that, Dad. I may, like I said, that's something else I would think about. Depends on how much it costs me. Like I said, I own my phones, and I think my phones are compatible with T-Mobile because I'm with Spectrum. And so I think T-Mobile and Spectrum are compatible. So if I switch, I'd probably go T-Mobile International if it's not too expensive. Like I said, this is stuff I got to look at. I'll start looking. Some of this I'll start doing some research on, and then I'll start really digging down into it this summer. I've not done a lot of research because and I know things can change from year to year. And so we'll start looking into that stuff. We'll start making the changes later in the year, but I do want the the mailbox. I do want a bank that's not going to hassle me about being overseas. From my understanding, that's USAA. I'm former Navy, so I could join the USAA or the Naval Federal Credit Union, either one. But I'll check into it. There's one that's not quite all the way to New York City for a USAA branch. I want to go in and sit down and talk with them. I like a brick and mortar bank to set things up. I don't like doing money things over the internet for the first time. I like to go in, get the information, and find out what's going on. I'll have somebody with me to deposit, to set up an account if I decide to go with them. I'll have a few hundred with me to set it up. And I'll also check sometime this summer with the Social Security. I have to go in because I've made that perfectly clear. I don't want anything done over the phone or over the internet. I've told I've told you, I did a video on that getting ripped off. Matter of fact, I just was watching a video on YouTube today, and I don't know if you're for Elon Musk and Doge trying to save money or not, but they were talking about how about 40% of the phone calls that Social Security receives each and every month or each and every day is fraud. They get a hold of somebody's number and they call and try to change the bank deposits, where they will say, oh yeah, I'm so-and-so, this is my number, I want to change my bank. Well, remember, that's what happened to me. That happened to me. And I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Whether they did it on the internet or they did it by phone, I don't know. I just know they got the Social Security company to agree to change my banking information. And they sent me a message about it. And I read that message. It's like, no. And I got a hold of them and verified that that's what happened. And I looked this local Social Security number up myself and called them. And I talked to the guy and I said, no. I said, from now on, I don't want them to be able to do it by the internet. I don't want them to be able to do it by phone. They have to go in person and have at least 2 forms of identification. So I have my passport, I have my driver's license, so I got that. So we'll do that sometime this summer to find out what's going on. Yeah, Joe. Thanks, Dan. You want me to waste my money, don't you? I may do that, Dan. Like I said, I know I need a few months. I'm going to start researching a little more in depth. So, like I said, I know I need the mailbox. I know I need another bank account because I'm not keeping I got 2 bank accounts right now. I'm going to get rid of one of them. That's guaranteed. I may get rid of both of them. It's guaranteed I'm getting rid of one. The Key Bank is gone once I quit working. I'm not doing it before that because I have some automatic bills set up for it. Although I may end up doing that before I have that money going in there. We'll just see how everything works out. Like I said, I already have PayPal. I've transferred money to other people already in the Philippines through the PayPal. Whenever I sponsor somebody, that's how I sponsor it. It's the only way I can do it is PayPal. So that's been done a few times. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to set it up here in the States. I'll go, probably after this summer or this late spring when the weather's better. I'll drive. The Social Security office that I like to deal with is over in Troy. It's not too far from where I live. It's a smaller office, but I'll go over there and talk with them. I'll go in, but I'm not going to go talk to them until I set up an account with USAA. And then I want to go in and find out how easy it is to split the money and between the two accounts. And so we'll do that. We'll check things out. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm more of a fly by your pants type person, but this type of thing, I can't fly by my pants. Well, I could, but it'd be kind of crazy. And for those of you who don't know what I mean by fly by my pants, I'm the kind of person that I could take off without making plans and be perfectly happy. But when you're talking about moving, not just going on vacation, that's a whole different ballgame. You've got to be much more prepared. So I'll have to do more preparation than I've ever done before. I mean, when I joined the Navy, I just joined the Navy. I just flew by my pants. Every time they transferred me, I just flew by my pants. I moved out here, I flew by my pants. I moved down here, I flew by my pants. I didn't make big plans. I just did it. But that's still within the United States. It's not going to another country. So it's a lot easier to fly by your pants doing those kind of things. But when you're going to another country to live, to try to survive and make it, you got to be a little more prepared. Yeah, I could go over for a couple months and fly by my pants for that. No problem. But to go over there and try to live, though, you got to be a little bit better prepared. Like I said, I mean, here in the States, you can go on vacation for a month even or more. You go to the post office, tell them to hold your mail. If you have any bills, you set up to be auto pay, and then you go off. But like I said, that's not going to work going overseas. I can have auto pay on some bills if I have any bills I have to worry about. But you still got to have some planning done that you didn't do beforehand, that you've not done before. Like I said, the bill, I can't just stop my bill. It's got to be forwarded to me. So that's something I'll have to look. Like I said, that's something I have to set up. Having money to take. Tell me if I'm wrong, if I should do this or not, Dad. I like your opinion on this. I've been thinking. Dad, by flying by my pants, there's going to be a big hole in the back. But Dad, tell me if you think this is a good thing to do or not. I've been thinking about doing some money exchange of American money to pesos and to start putting it back. And to kind of do that, would that be a good thing to do, to go ahead and build up my supply of pesos to so when I go to rent a place, I've actually got the pesos with me and not have to worry about how many $100 bills I have, because it's going to be $100 bills unmarked and unbent if you take U.S. cash. I will take some of that as well, but I'd like to take some pesos with me and not have to exchange it when I first get there. So I'm just wondering, would that be a good thing to do or not? What do you think? Yeah, my nose is plugged up, guys. Sorry about that. What's L and L, Dad? If you put triple L there, it'll drop your channel for you. My Nightbot's back, guys. Or at least it was. Come on. Oh, you just made a liar out of me, didn't you, Nightbot? You worked there. There it is. He's just slow. He's just slow. So there you go, guys. Like I said, Nightbot is working if you want to drop your channel links the easy way. Thanks, Dan. I was wondering if that would be a good idea. I should have been buying it earlier because it's the peso's going down. I should have been buying it. Was around 58, 59, down about 57, and so I'll start buying some every month, a couple $100 worth every month, just to have it through the banks and see what I'll go into Bank of America and talk to them about it. Because like I said, if I keep one of the two banks that I have right now, Bank of America is going to be the one I keep. And so I'll go and talk to them and see what they have to say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At 57, it was higher, but it's like I'm afraid it may drop lower, so I might as well start buying it. That's what I'm thinking. I thought about doing it earlier, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't know how long it's going to be before I go. But now that it's getting close, I think I'll start buying to have a few, have enough that I can rent my apartment or my condo or whatever, and actually have the pesos with me to pay for it up front. So I'm gonna have to take some with me, and I'll take probably a little bit of American cash as well. I might start getting some of that out and start putting it aside. Unmarked, unbent, and like I said, that's why I'm going to go to the Bank of America. I'll let them know what I'm doing. I won't tell them I'm planning on moving there, but I'm telling them I'm planning on going there, and I know that they won't take the bills that are got markings on them or bent up. They like practically brand new $100 bills to exchange for money, and I'll say I want to take some that I may not need. I will need it, but I'll tell them I may not need it. And because there may be another country or two I'll go to. So yeah. But hey folks, I'm gonna get ready to shut this one down. Elvie will be starting hers up here in just a little bit. I'm gonna go into my living room, set everything up in there. I'll watch her on my TV and I'll comment on my phone. I can't comment if I'm watching on TV, but I can hook them together and I can watch on the TV and comment on my phone. So I'll be doing that here in a little bit. I want to make sure everybody's, I should be back next week. Be like, welcome, hello, April. And I got some things I got to do between now and then. Excuse me. Yes, sorry about that if you could hear it. So I've got to get going. That sounds like a great idea. Really. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? I don't know. Have you been here before? Yes, you have, because you got to. I'm just getting ready to shut it down, Michelle. Thank you for coming. Like I was telling everybody, I'm planning on moving to the Philippines early next year. I'm hoping by January or February, if everything works out. It may be a little longer than that, but hopefully that's the time frame I'm shooting for. Like I said, my mom just passed away, and we buried her last weekend. And I always said I wouldn't go until after she passed away. So now I got to set myself up to go. And so that's what we're doing. I'm going to be shutting this one down. Michelle, if you have a channel, just type in LLL. And I'll show you how to do it. Whoops, not that, Larry. Come on. Type in 3 L's. Elvie Rose. How you doing, Elvie? How you been? I am getting ready to shut it down, Elvie. I know you. Are you starting at 9:30? Elvie, are you starting at 9:30? Okay, well, okay, then we can keep going for a little bit. I wanted to shut down and take a little break. before you started yours so I could be there. Now, what time are you doing it now? What? I mean, when's it been rescheduled? What time? Ooh, I don't know if I can make it tomorrow then. Because at 8:30, I'll still be at work. I don't get off till 9:30. So if I get home before you're done, I will drop by and check it out. But I will be at work at 8:30 and won't get home till about 10 o'clock at night. So it'll be 10 o'clock in the morning for you. Now, I didn't know if you heard me. I'm telling everybody right now, my plan is to move to the Philippines if everything goes right in January or February, this coming January, February. All right, I'll join you late then. If you're going to be going that long, I'll join you late. And I won't be able to join you from the beginning, but I will be able to join you late. And like I was telling everybody here, I can set it up where I can sit in my living room and watch you on my TV, but I have to have my phone connected to my TV so I can comment. You'll get credit for me watching, but you won't get any comments if I don't hook my phone up. Yeah, if everything, I got to start trying to save more money. I got to start setting things up. I got to look into setting up a virtual mailbox. I think that's what they call it, a virtual mailbox. I got to check and see which bank is going to work best for me overseas. I'm looking at one of the military credit unions, USAA. I'm looking at maybe joining them and having my money go through them while I'm in the Philippines, because I hear they don't care if you're in the Philippines or how long you're there, and they reimburse so many of your ATM withdrawals. I'll find all that out when I can talk to them. Also, I have to set up a couple other things. Like I said, the big things are the bank and the virtual mailbox and getting my money straightened out and all that good stuff. I have a date in mind. It's going to depend on how much I can get put back. If I can't make it, then I won't sign another year lease. I won't do that. It won't take me that long. I may have to sign a couple of months to month, so maybe March or April next year. But I'm hoping it's by February, because that's when my lease runs out, and I won't have to renew anymore. If everything goes right, I'll be able to quit work in December. Then maybe leave at the end of January, just pay for a month. I'm not going to be there. But we'll see. That may not be feasible. But we do have an end date now in mind. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And like I said earlier, y'all all know when I'm there when I say, guess where I'm at. I won't guarantee it'll be Cebu, but it'll be the Philippines. I would say Cebu would be the best bet, unless I decide between now and then to stop maybe in Manila and do something, then go to Cebu. I'm not leaning that way, but that is a possibility. Yeah, and I do have money saved still. I do have it, but I got to be a little more cautious with my money. I bought something a couple months ago that I really didn't need. I just would make things look a little bit better around the apartment. And if my mom had passed away at that time, I wouldn't have bought it, because, like I said, it's something I didn't really need, but I didn't know how long it was going to be that I'd be here still. So I wanted to make it look a little better. But so be it, that kind of stuff I got to quit buying. I can no longer worry about how the apartment looks if I don't have this or that. If I don't absolutely need it, I'm not buying it, because that's a waste of my money. It's taking money away from savings to go to the Philippines, and that's the more important part. It's not how nice I have my apartment set up now. Because most of this stuff is not going with me. There's going to be like that picture behind me. That'll probably go, but not when I travel. I have to try to find a place where I can send it later, buy the boxes, and then pack it up. And then when I know where I'm going to be at, have a friend ship it for me. Those biological boxes, when you get the box, you pay for the shipping at that time. So all they'll have to do is put the address on it and drop it off for me. They have to have a relative do it. I don't know yet, but we'll get that taken care of as well. That's something else I got to look into because, like I was telling Dan and everybody else, I don't plan on taking my laptops with me because the newest laptop is over 5 years old. Doesn't work as well as it used to. Gives me a hard time now. And the other one's older, so I'm not going to take them. But I may buy a brand new one and take that because my desktop I'm not going to take. I may ship it over if it's not too expensive to ship it later. Well, I'm going to stay in Cebu, and yeah, Dan will be a good guide on that. He already knows I'm interested in that one place area that I stayed. It's you can walk to some places that are very close. It wasn't real expensive, and like I said, I mean, I don't have to be right next to a hospital. I just got to have one that's not too far away. And Cebu has ambulances and stuff like that. Like I said, I may get there and decide it's just too large for me, but that's where I'm going to start at and try to see around that area. And if I like it, I'll stay. If not, I'll check someplace else out. There's Ilo. You could go to Davao, but they get a lot of earthquakes, so I'm not really sure if I want to go to Davao, but it's an area I want to go see. And there's places on Luzon that might be interesting to check out. They're not too far from Manila. So we'll check. Like I said, what I'm worried about is making sure I can survive on my Social Security and save money on it as well. What is a pot? You're going to have to tell me what that is now, Elvie. I don't know what that is. What is that, Elvie? Is that your cut of my income? But like I said, yeah, we want to try to get everything set up. Okay. I see what you're saying. I know I'm going to have to bring some chocolates, I think, but I'll have to check because I don't want to ship that because that would melt. So that have to be something I can carry. Well, I know if I got anything for Tots, it'd be Candy Kisses, right, Dad? If you're still there, it'd be Candy Kisses for Tots. I think everybody's going to want chocolates. I'll have to see if I can ship them. I'm going to make you all jealous. You know what I had today? And I also had it yesterday. Root beer float. Now, I don't know if you know what a root beer float is, so I'm going to describe it to you. If you know what root beer is, well, that's part of it. The other part that makes it the float is ice cream. So you put ice cream in a glass, this size of a glass, ice cream up to around here, and the rest pop. Then you stir it up and you drink it. Yeah, that's what a root beer float is. Root beer and ice cream. Now, I used to work at an A&W root beer stand when I was a kid. It was my very first job. And that's where I really got hooked on root beer floats. And I don't drink pop too often anymore, but I just, like I said, I just got back from my trip. Hey, said Smoochie. Huh? Why don't I just buy every kind of chocolate there is, guys? I won't have room for anything else. Hey, Monroe, how you doing, man? Hey, Monroe, I don't know if you've heard or not, but my mother passed away. I went back to Terre Haute last weekend for her funeral. And you've probably heard me say this before, that I would never move to the Philippines till after my mom passed. So right now, I'm planning on trying to move in January or February next year. All right. Like I said, we'll see what we can do for you guys. I don't know how much I can carry on, but we will. Like I said, I'm just afraid if I ship it, it will melt. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe we could. I don't know how much I could take in my bags, but we'll see. I'll probably have one carry-on bag plus my CPAP, and then I'll probably have one check bag. So if I do a check bag, it'll probably be in the check bag. Yeah, I'm doing well. Like I said, my mom's been sick for quite a while. She was 99 years old. She always said she didn't want to live to be 100, so she got her wish there. Yeah, I'm doing well. Like I said, now I can start planning for my future instead of having it on hold. I had it on hold because I wasn't going anywhere as long as my mom was alive. As old as she was, I was afraid I'd get to the Philippines, and while I was over there, she died. And I had to turn around and come right back. And now, folks, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to buy for everybody. Oh, should have never mentioned chocolate. But yeah, so right now, Monroe, I got to start doing some research on virtual mailboxes and some other things, to get ready to go. Yeah, she did, but like I said, towards the end, she had dementia that would come and go. Sometimes she'd know everything. Other times she wouldn't know you. Every time, but the last time I visited my mom, she knew who I was. She didn't always remember that I was there the day before, but she always knew who I was. The last time I visited my mother, just before I left, she couldn't remember who I was. She kept asking me, "Now, who are you? Who are you?" I kept telling her, "I'm your son, Larry, Mom." And then she'd ask me a couple of minutes later, "Now, who are you again?" So yeah. Yeah, I noticed that, Elvie and Crystal. Just mentioned that word. That's even worse than ice cream. I mean, come on, guys. Uh, Now remember, people, I'm going to be in Cebu at first, I think. So I'll bring some, but I don't know how long it'll be before it gets to you. Uh, those in Cebu, I'll have the first shot at it. But see, now I'll tell you one of the reasons why it's even worse than ice cream. Now, the chocolate in the States is different than the chocolate in the Philippines. We all know that. So if you want the chocolate here, I got to buy it and take it over. Ice cream is different as well, but we can go to a Dairy Queen we can go somewhere else. And you guys like your ice cream, so it doesn't matter. I can buy you ice cream in the Philippines, and you'll be happy as all get out with it. But you may not be happy if I buy you chocolate in the Philippines. If I bring it over from the States, I think you appreciate it more. So we'll see what we can do with that. I can't say. Yeah, it is different. That's what I'm saying. I mean, even though it may be the same brand or the same kind, it's not made the same. So, Crystal, the chocolate's going to win. I'm willing to bet chocolate will win hands down. So, yeah. So, like I said, we'll do something. I don't know how much I can bring. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the ice cream, you'd be perfectly happy with me buying the ice cream there. Baguio, you're talking about the one up in the mountains? No, you're not getting me up there. I'm not going up that high up in the mountains. I want the heat. If I'm going to go to the mountains, it'd be Valencia, Negros. That's high enough for me. I like I said, maybe after I'm there a year or so, but when I first get there, I don't want cold. No. My carry-on will have my clothes. The checked baggage, which would be bigger, will probably have the chocolate. But the carry-on's got to have the clothes, so I got clothes when I get there. And it's going to have things like this. This is the long sleeve shirt that keeps me from getting sunburned. And I'll have shorts. But yeah, Elvie, you and Crystal are ganging up on me. Pretty soon, Pamela and Setchibushi and everybody else will be joining in. But so what if wait a minute, Elvie, what if I gotta have a change of clothing? I can't wear the same clothes every day. I'd have to check that place out. But no, I don't know. Pasig, I really don't know about that place. Like I said, right now my plan is to go to Cebu first and see how I like it there. They got decent hospitals, everything else. And okay, Setchibushi, we appreciate you staying in. But so right now we're just trying to decide what I want to do. And Elvie, I'm a little bit bigger than most people in the Philippines. It'd be hard to find clothes that'll fit me in the Philippines. Now, maybe after I've been there a while and lose some weight, but right now I'm going to say it'd be very hard to find clothes that fit me. And I'll have to order my clothes through Amazon probably, which is fine. I mean, they deliver to the Philippines. If you spend so much money, and when I buy clothes, I'll spend that kind of money. But hey, Glenda. But yeah, we just got to decide what we want to do. And like I said, right now, unless something changes my mind, right now I'm going to Cebu first. I know more about Cebu outside of maybe not even more than Olongapo, because it's been so long since I've been there. That place is completely different. That's where I was at in the Navy. And so that's just something I'll have to look at. Like I said, Ilo's an area I'll look at. I like certain things about Davao, although they do get more earthquakes than I'm crazy about. There's also the Luzon. There's areas in Luzon that would be interesting. So, folks, good to see you still here. And so, yeah, it's just something we have to do. We got to start doing more research and the areas I know the best right now, if we're going to be honest about it, are Cebu, Dumaguete, Valencia area, probably Iloilo, because I used to follow a vlogger there for a long time. Then he quit vlogging and moved out into the province. Then I'd have to probably go with that'd be tough to go with it. So that I know in the order. But those three are the ones I would know the best. Then, like I said, I do know Davao a little bit, and I do know a few places on the island of Luzon. I just want a decent hospital close to me, some entertainment. So, in other words, malls to go to when you have your brownouts in the Philippines. We call it blackouts here. Brownouts in the Philippines, a mall that usually has a generator that will run the air conditioning and everything. And some other outdoor activities that some parks or resorts or something to go to for entertainment. That's what I'm looking for. I can't say, I can't say I'm not looking to get married. I'm not looking not to get married. That is in God's hands. Whatever happens, happens there. I'm a single man who's never been married, so I can't say I have anything for it or anything against it. I don't. If I meet the right woman, fine. If I don't, fine. I'm my age. I hope to meet some people that can at least be companions in friendship. I'm not talking about sexual. If it's going to be sexual, I'd rather have a marriage and have it as a monogamous. That means just the two of us, I don't want an open relationship. That's not me. I'm not for open relationships. Just not for it. Because that one, somebody always gets hurt in open relationships because one always feel more for one than the other, and one of you will want more than what the other one wants, and the other one will maybe find somebody else to move on. So that hurts the one that's left. So that's not something I want to deal with. Like I said, I want to find a place that I'm comfortable with. Hey, Monroe, just to let you know, I did get my Nightbot working. If you want to drop 3 L's, it'll drop your link for you. I got that working today, so I went into Nightbot and added it again, I guess. So hopefully it'll be there again next week. And yeah, Monroe, I was hoping that whenever I was able to go, whether it was this year, next year, 10 years from now, because you never know, you don't know how long she was going to hold on, that I would be healthy enough to go. So right now I'm healthy enough to go, so that makes me extremely happy. And that I got my health and I could go. Because who knows, if it went 10 years, I doubt I may not have it. But once I'm there, get myself set up, it'll be different. And so that's what we're trying to do now. And Monroe, how's your baby doing? Thank you, Monroe. But tell us about your baby. Give us the name and how's it doing? If I remember right, it's a girl, right? You got a daughter? So what's her name and how's she doing? Alicia, okay. Very good. Well, I knew she was a couple of months old. I wasn't sure exactly how old, but I knew she was 2 or 3 months. So congratulations to you and your wifey again on having a beautiful daughter. Hopefully she takes up and looks like her mother. I know if I ever had kids, they'd have better look like their mother, because otherwise they're going to be ugly if they look like me. And but yeah. But Pamela just said hi to you, Monroe. And so yeah, like I said, if everything goes right this time next year, I'll be setting in the Philippines, more than likely Cebu. At least that's my goal. So let's see if we can make it. Like I said, all the furniture that I have, that except for there's one piece of furniture I won't trade off. I'll probably give it to somebody in the family. It's a coffee table that's been in the family for close to 65 years. It's a pretty old one. I'll see if somebody in the family wants it, and I'll sell everything else. I'll just have some used furniture place come in, make an offer on everything. Naturally, like I said, the computer won't be in that. It's a computer desk and the TV, if they want to buy that, unless somebody else I know wants it. I'll give it to somebody that I know if they want it. But all the furniture, they can have all the furniture. And then I'll sell my car. And somebody say, "Oh, you ought to keep your car." Well, that was in your car. Excuse me. They say you ought to keep your car. What happens if you come back? Well, I'll buy a different car. I don't plan on coming back. I don't want to be paid on a car that if it was paid off, I might hang on to it for a little bit, but it won't be paid off when I go. And so I'm not going to be making the equivalent of a rental a condo rental in the Philippines on a car that I'm not driving. And because remember, I bought this car brand new. I don't plan on spending that much money on a condo if I can find the right condo. I hope to spend less than that, but that would be as much as renting 2 places in the Philippines if I had my place and then paying for that car that I'm not driving. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't. Like I said, I plan to go to Cebu, try to find a place that I'm comfortable with that's not too expensive, and then check it out. I know for the first couple of months I'm going to be happy as a lark because it's something I've been wanting to do, to move to the Philippines. You got that right. It is. Everybody's budget and everybody's goal in life is different. I was watching the Filipino P, and she was talking about some stuff, and she was talking along that line, and I wrote to her a comment in her comment section that I'm a single man. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, which is larger than I need. I do the cleaning, I do the cooking, I do the dishes, and I do the laundry. I'm not going over there and expecting everything to be done for me. I don't mind cooking. Never have mind cooking. I enjoy cooking sometimes. I'm not crazy about doing dishes, and I hate cleaning. But if I have to, I can do it. Now, if I can afford to pay somebody to, the one place that Dan was staying at, you could pay somebody to come in once or twice a week, and they'll clean your apartment. That I'm willing to do if it's not too expensive. I'll do the dishes. I'm not crazy about it, but I can do the dishes. I can do my own cooking. I can go out to eat. Well, I don't go out usually, but I usually order something in about once a week. That's it. The rest of the time I cook. So I can do that. There's no problem with that. The thing that I probably go out for the most, and that's just so I can socialize some, would be coffee. I drink coffee at home right now. There's my coffee machine right there. I make a cup at a time, and so that is, that's something I may have at the house later. But when I first get, I'll probably go out and get coffee and sit around and talk to people. Now, depends on how much money I spend drinking coffee. I may have to change that. But like I said, that's something that I will adjust according to my budget. Because like I said, you can go a lot of places and not spend money. I like to people watch. I can buy a cup of coffee or a soda, sit outside with a soda or a glass of unsweetened tea like this, and sit out there for an hour or two, just watch people walk around. I can enjoy that. And I also can enjoy talking to people. Right? As you can tell, I'm a talker. And so, it all depends on what's going on and how things are going. And I'll get a routine down eventually. I will want to travel around and see some of the local sites, and that'll go up on my YouTube channel. Because I do have, I think most of my followers, if you want to know the truth, are in the Philippines right now. But I do have followers in the United States and Canada and other areas. And that might even increase my followers when I start doing that, at least over here. And like I said, I'm going over there not people have asked me because I have a close enough I could probably get monetized. Why I don't do it. I don't want a second job. I work 35 hours a week, and if I could, I'd work 40, but the job don't let me do that. Yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't think I'll do interviews unless I run into somebody that wants to talk. As I'm, like I said, I want to go to Magellan Cross, which is in the Philippines. I want to see that. I want to go to some of the beaches, and there's other things I want to see. I want to see some of the older churches. And like I said, everything won't be in Cebu. Like I said, when I first get there, I'm going to pretty much stay in Cebu area. I want to try to get back into snorkeling or skin diving, however you want to call it. So there's a lot of things I want to do now. Not like the camera equipment I got right now didn't do underwater. Thank you, Setsubuchi. I appreciate that. And so if I want to do underwater ones, I'd have to buy more equipment, which I would do over there. I wouldn't do it here because I'm not going to be using it. But like I said, it's something that we have to figure out once I get over there, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. I wish I thought I could do what Chris did, Chris in Cebu. He was a guy that walked around. I don't know if you knew him, but he was a guy that walked around in certain areas of Cebu, live streaming, but he did it while he was walking. And he'd read comments and talk back and forth and was able to watch out for, as he called it, landmines, which was dog doo-doo, and then also for holes in the sidewalks. And he did a very good job. He's the one that got me interested in Cebu, to be perfectly honest about it. I watched so many of his live streams that he's walking around that certain areas of it I think I know. Now I know some of it's going to be different because you're actually there, but it gives you, it will give me a feeling of familiarity because of watching all his live streams, certain parts of it. So that's one of the reasons for Cebu. Another reason, like I said, they got the all those hospitals right there, and there's a lot of expats that you could hang around with some, and if you want, you can have a little more privacy. That's one of the things I want to check on. I'm thinking about I'm former military, I'm former Navy, and I'm thinking about joining the USAA Federal Credit Union and having some of my Social Security deposited into that, and then some deposited into the bank I have right now that it's going to for savings. And I will have enough money in that I can get to it to survive for a few months if I don't get my Social Security. That's what I want in the bank. I want enough that I can survive for 2 to 3, maybe 4 months without a check coming in if something happens. I believe you need that. Dan was telling me there's a Social Security office, I guess, in Cebu. So I'll find out if there is once I get there. But with USAA, you can withdraw money from the ATMs over there, and they will reimburse so many of your ATM charges. I don't know if it's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure how many, but they will reimburse the ATM charge to your account. So that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about it, USAA. Also, they don't care if you're in the Philippines like some of these other banks, because they have a lot of military expats that they deal with, from what I've been told. So that is something that I find useful. I think it would be very useful. I also have PayPal that's hooked up to the bank that I have here in the States, so I can always send my money to myself by PayPal, or maybe to one of my friends and get it from them. We'll have to figure that out. But I have PayPal. I've sent money to the Philippines to some of my Filipino friends here to help with their giveaways and stuff. And I helped one young lady that had a baby. I helped another young lady that was in a bad motorcycle wreck, busted her chin up, sent her some money. I don't send a lot, but I send a little bit, and I only send it if I really believe the person needs it or deserves it. Like I said, the baby, I don't know if there was a need there or not, but I know when you have a new baby, you need some money. You need money for food. You need money for diapers. You need money for all kinds of stuff when you have a newborn baby. I don't have children, but I have 2 nephews, a niece, a great niece, and 2 great nephews. I've dated women with kids. One of the girls I dated had a baby that was only about a year old. So I've been around young kids. I've changed diapers when I was younger because of who I was dating. She had a son, and I helped out. We were dating. That's what you do when you date. You help out. She never asked me for it. She never, said, "Oh, Larry," but she knew I was willing to help. She knew I was changed the baby's diaper when he needed it. So it's something you got to do. Now I will check with Social Security on transferring money to the USAA if I can split the money between Bank of America, which is a bank I have right now that Social Security going into, and USAA, if I can split it, or does it all have to go into one spot? And then I'll have to check if they all have to go to one spot, how reasonable it is to have the money moved from Bank of America to USAA. So that way I got to have 2 banks if possible. If it's too much of a hassle, I'll go with one bank, and I'll go probably with USAA. But I'll be checking on that. I'll let them know that I'm planning on going over to the Philippines for a while. I'll ask how long, if I'm over there for how long can I be over there without it being a problem, on all that good happy stuff. That's something I got to start. Like I said, it's stuff I have to do, but it's nothing I got to do right now. Right now, I got to start doing research into, like I said, the virtual mailbox, the feasibility. I'm going to start buying pesos, so my bank's going to know that I'm planning on going because I'm going to tell them that's what it's for. I'm going to start buying pesos now, so I don't have to take as much in American cash when I go over. I think the more I have in Filipino peso when I go, the better off I am because I won't have to stop at a bank somewhere and cash some money. So, or, I can go wherever I'm going to be staying at and have that cash with me. Is what I'm holding enough of that cash. Well, I'll try. I'm not sure I'm going to be pass that information on, but when I find it out, if somebody does an excellent job, I may just uh, mention it in a video as I'm talking. It's like, here's where you need. This person here has a really good video on this. Here's how you get to. We'll decide. I'll probably do one where I let you know who I'm going with, and maybe how I made that decision. I don't know. That'll be stuff that I'll be doing this summer. Right now, it's going to be more research. There's some people I know that I've watched that have done some of these things, but I'll have to go back and watch those. I'll have to bring it up with them. Dan would be a good one to check with. He's done some of that, I think. So you can go back and check his. Midlife, Wanderings, I think it is, Midlife Wanderings. Her husband did some of those. So I'll go back and check those out. There's some others I'll check out. But I'll start to, what I'll have to do is I'll go on YouTube and type in virtual mailbox. And it'll bring up probably all the different videos of virtual mailboxes that I'll have to start watching. And so it's going to be a busy summer. Like I said, it's stuff I got to get done before I can go. I got to have a virtual mailbox. And for those of you that didn't hear me explain the virtual mailbox earlier, when you move, you're still going to be getting mail, and you got to have a way of getting it. It's like 10 or 15 bucks last time I heard for a virtual mailbox. And what they'll do is they can have the ability to, let's say you get a check, they can cash the check, like deposit the check for you. They will also check your other mail and let you know what you have, and you can tell that's junk, throw it away. Send me a copy of that either by the computer or maybe forward it to you by mail. I think if you have it forwarded to you by mail, it's a couple bucks. But if it's something important, something you really want, instead of a PDF or whatever they call those that they do on the computer, it'll be worth the cost. And that's all stuff I'll have to check into and find out. And like I said, I'll be researching, then I'll talk to the mailboxes that I'm interested in getting. And I'll have to have that set up for a couple of months before I go so I can get some mail sent there and then to make sure how it works. So we'll do something like that. And then, like I said, I really want to go into the USAA brick and mortar if I can. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Go to the brick and mortar and try to set it up instead of doing it over the computer, which you can do over the computer. Hey, Jim, I have to get to your next video. I think my mother passed away. I was back in Terre Haute last weekend for the funeral, so I'm behind on everybody. But I'll get to it. As I was telling everybody here, right now, if everything works out for me, I'll be in the Philippines in less than a year. It'll be like if it works out the way I want, it'll be like at the end of January, if not the end of February. My lease runs out at the end of February next year, so I really hope to be out of here by then. If not, I will not sign another year lease. I'll just have to do a month by month which means it'll probably increase each month, knowing how this is going to work. I'm talking about my rent, but that's all right. That's better than signing a year and being here for another year. But so be it. But like I said, if everything works out the way I want, I'll be out of here in less than a year. It'll be about 11 months. If I'm really lucky, about 10 months. But we'll see. And so we're looking at doing that. And hopefully everything will work out the way I want. And I'll be able to get out of here. Not have to spend a full winter here. I might spend part of one, but not a full winter again. Oh, I hate winter. But so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I've already had the girls tell me that I need to bring some chocolate. They were telling me not to bring any clothes, just bring chocolate. I can buy clothes when I get there. I'm sorry, girls, at my size, I doubt if they have it in the stores. So I'm going to have to bring at least a couple changes of clothing. I won't bring a lot of clothing, I don't think. It'll be mostly long sleeve shirts like this, and those swim shirts of mine. The t-shirts with the low sleeves, I call them. They're actually swim shirts. Those are all sun blocking shirts. So I'll be bringing those. I'll be bringing this hat, maybe one of my cowboy hats, maybe one of my navy. I might bring some hats. I'll have to decide on that. They may not pack well. And then I have to bring the CPAP and that kind of stuff. So like I said, if everything goes right, we'll be all right. We'll be there, like I said, in less than a year. Anna Mae, how you doing? Anna Mae, me that just joined us. Like I said, my mother passed away and we buried her last Saturday. And so I'm now making plans to move to the Philippines. If everything goes right, it'll be within a year. Right now, I have savings. I probably have enough that I can set myself up for the first month. But then after that, things are starting to be getting tight. Depends on whether they want 1 month or 2 months besides the rent. And also how much that would cost me. And the plane tickets. That's the big thing, would be the plane tickets. So we have enough money to go over there, set myself up, probably survive a month or two, but things would be tight until things straightened out. And I'd just rather not have it tight. I'd rather, like I said, I'm already signed to at least till the end of February next year. So that would cost me a lot of money to break, and that would not be worth it because it would probably cost me the full amount of the money, which would wipe out my savings. So, yeah. So we don't want to do that because if they charge me the full amount, it would be over $7,000, close to $8,000 if they charge me the full amount for the whole time. Yeah, Tim. Once I really know how close I can make it, if I can make it, I'll try to make my international flight a few months in advance because if the farther in advance you can make it, the cheaper price you can get. Also, I'll start looking. There's some places saying flying on Tuesday and Wednesdays are the cheapest days. We'll check into that stuff. This is stuff I'm going to have to start really researching on. I'll be doing that this summer. Like I said, I got to set up a virtual mailbox. I'm going to have to assign somebody to my banks. I don't know if I want to do that with one of my nephews or great nephews. We'll see. Like I said, this is stuff I got to start looking into seriously. I didn't do it before because I didn't know how long it was going to be. And the longer it took, the more I was worried about whether or not I was going to have my health. I still have my health, so I'm going to do it. And so, yeah. So unless something changes dramatically, I'll be out of here next year, hopefully. Well, I will be out of here next year, hopefully at the start of it, not the end of it. Like I said, I may have to work a few more months after the first of the year. But if everything goes right, I won't. And Tim, I'm going to be selling my furniture. I have some very, very nice furniture. And some of it's in great shape. You take my sleeper sofa, almost nobody sits on it. Rarely, I have friends who come over once in a while and they'll sit there, but that's once or twice a month, and that's it. I'll sell my car. Whatever money I get will go towards the plane tickets. I'll buy a throwaway. And so, yeah, I know it's going to be a little tough getting everything done. That's why I said I'm going to have to start doing some research. Some of the stuff I've seen online, been a while. I listened to some of it, so I got an idea, but I'll go back and watch it like the virtual mailbox. I'll check out a few videos on that. Money transfer, I'll do some more research on that. I'm planning on going right now. I'm planning on doing USAA, Federal Credit Union, for one of my accounts. I don't know if that's who you got or not, but I hear that they're pretty good with foreign expats, and they're a lot more understanding as you being overseas and not care as much. Or some banks, you gotta have a U.S. phone number. I'll find out. Like I said, there's a brick and mortar almost halfway between me and New York City, and if it's still open, I'll go down there sometime this summer, check with them. That's what Dad was saying as well, to set up Google Voice or T-Mobile International. So that's stuff I got to start looking into, Deb. I'd like to do it without a U.S. phone if I can, but I don't know if you can do it that way. And so we'll see. But yeah, like I said, it's stuff that I got to start really seriously looking into. I'm going to have to start doing a lot of video research. As you already know, I plan on stopping in Cebu first. That don't mean that's where I'm going to stay. It means I'm going to stay there for a few months. Things are working for me. Whether or not I like a city that large or not. Right now, I want to visit Dumaguete, but I don't think I'd want to live in Dumaguete. Although I would like Valencia. I would really want to see Valencia as well. But areas that I would think about living in besides Cebu, I would think about those two. But I also would think about, okay. I've never been to Cebu, but I used to watch this vlogger named Chris in Cebu. And he would do live streams walking around certain areas of Cebu where you could get internet connection. And so there's certain areas I've seen a lot of Cebu. So I would like to check it out for that reason. It's a soft landing because it's a large city. That a lot of it, to my understanding, there's a lot of expats. There's quite a few hospitals, fairly good ones. A lot of entertainment in that area, not necessarily in Cebu, some in Cebu, some outside of it. So that I think that would be a nice place to stop for my first place. And like I said, if it turns out it's too large or too noisy or too polluted, whatever, that lets me know that, all right, it's a nice place, but let's go somewhere else. And we'll start checking out places like Iloilo. Like I said, I'll check out Dumaguete and Valencia probably even before I decide I don't like do like Cebu. I'll probably go because it's just across it's the next island over. So I'll probably spend some time over there after I've been there for a couple of months. So I may already know that Cebu is not for me, and I may think it is for me. But I want to check those areas out. I'd like to check Iloilo out. Deval maybe, and some places in Luzon. I don't know if I'll go to Logopo or not. I would. Angeles would be okay, except for I would want to stay away from certain areas there that you know about. That area that interests me at all. If I was going down there, it'd have to be during the daytime. I would not want to be down there at night. It's just not my place. It's just not for me anymore. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, yeah, I probably would have been down there, but that was many years ago, and I don't care to go down there anymore. But like I said, there's some places outside of Manila that would be interesting to check out if you're close, because they got good hospitals there as well. So I don't know how far out I'd want to be, but it wouldn't be too far, I don't think. I want a town that's large enough that they have a nice mall. So when there's a brownout, you go to the mall and be comfortable with the air conditioning stuff, which, Angeles would be, I'm sure Olongapo would be. Dumaguete's got it. Valencia doesn't, but, you could go into Dumaguete. It's not that far out of Dumaguete. But I don't know if I'd want to live in Valencia, but I do want to visit it. There's some bloggers there that I've followed for a long time, and there's some things I would like to see. I'd love to see their Sunday market. It looks like it'd be a blast. So, like I said, it's just things that you got to worry about, things I got to start checking into. I don't know how quick I'll get on that. It will be. It may be 1 week I do this, and the next week I don't do anything. It may be I do something every week. Maybe it's all the 2 weeks of one thing, then take a week off and 2 weeks of something else. It's something I got to figure out. I have a lot of time to get this done right. Now that I know that things are coming up, I've been watching the videos, trying to decide where to go anyway. And then I've already made that decision. Like I said, I like to go to Cebu first. Now, as you well know, just because you see something on video doesn't mean it really tells you how it is once you get there. So it's going to be my starting point, I think. Like I said, I'm in the Philippines when I do a videos, when I do a live stream, say, guess where I'm at. If I had to bet right now, I would be Cebu, but I may stop in Manila. Depends on the flight I take. I may stop in Manila for a week or two. I don't plan on doing that. I plan on doing Manila later on once I get settled in, but I may decide to do it first because I like to see the American Cemetery, the World War II cemetery there in Manila area. I really like to see that. The Grand Canal, the Venice Grand Canal Mall, I'd really like to see it. Mall of Asia would be okay, but I'm more interested in the Grand Canal. I think that would be more interesting to see for me. So there's some things in that area I'd like to see. And a couple of weeks would probably get that taken care of. Yeah, well, all right, I can understand that, but I'm going to have to fly into Manila eventually to see what I want to see. So, like I said, right now I plan on going to Cebu first and then getting things settled in and doing that. But, yeah, I really don't plan on going to Manila until after I've been there for a few months. But like I said, that can change. It may be the cost of the flight may be so much cheaper to fly in Manila. I may have to just to save the money. But that's not what I'm planning on. Like I said, right now it's too far out. And but if everything goes the way I want it, it'll be Cebu first. And I'll be there for a couple of months. Like I said, I may go over to Dumaguete in that couple of months and see Dumaguete and Valencia, and then travel around to some of the resorts in that area. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking about seeing what it would be to get buried at sea, if I could do that. Uh, but we'll have to check that stuff. I'll have to check on when I get there. Uh, I don't know what the qualifications are to be buried at sea or to be buried in a veteran cemetery. Like I said, I am a veteran. I did serve during Vietnam. I was never in Nam. Do not think I'm saying that because I wasn't. My orders to Nam were canceled. I was in Yokosuka, Japan. My ship's orders were canceled. Hey, crazy kid, how you doing? So, well, crazy. You've known me long enough, and you probably know that I always said I would not move to the Philippines. So my mother passed away. Well, we buried her last Saturday, and my lease runs out this coming February. So right now, I'm going to try to get everything set up so I can move over there either in January or February next year. So that's my goal. Yeah, I didn't think you'd know about burial at sea. That's something I'll have to check on probably when I get over there, or maybe find some sailors that are over there that might know about it. But yeah, that would, for me, the first choice would be over there. Thank you, Crazy. She was 99, and she always said she didn't want to be 100, so she got her wish. And so yeah. What even made it worse, Crazy? I don't think Tim heard this part. What even made it worse? My oldest sister, she's 81, and she was born with a real bad curvature of the spine. Like I said, she stands around 4'11", maybe 5 foot. But if you could straighten her spine up, she'd be 5'2" or taller. That's how bad her spine is. Anyway, she flew into Indianapolis and was going to go get a rental car. And those like moving sidewalks or whatever they call them, came to a stop, and she wasn't ready for it because she was doing something, and it caused her to lose her balance. She turned and fell on her back and hit her head. Well, she's a tough old bird. She went ahead and got her rental car and drove to Terre Haute. And I think she was able to get out of the car, but she couldn't do anything else. And some people came and helped her. And yeah, well, see, I'm not entitled to the VFW. I'm not entitled to belong to the VFW because I was never in Vietnam itself. I was in during Nam. I was overseas during Nam, but I don't believe that qualifies me for the VFW. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. You actually had to be in country. My older brother was there, but my older brother's passed away. But anyway, like I said, I put my sister in the hospital. She just got flown back from Terre Haute yesterday to her part of New York. She's in a small village that I used to live in at a rehabilitation center in Leroy. She lives in Elba, which is maybe 17 miles from there. But Elba wouldn't have anything like that, so it'd have to be Elba or Batavia to be close to where she lives. And they preferred the one in Leroy, and they were able to get her in there. So hopefully she won't be in there very long because from what everybody's telling me, she's doing really well compared to what she was like. So that's true. I don't have to join. Matter of fact, the next time I go back to Terre Haute, I'm going to get a fresh copy, official copy of my DD 214. I thought about doing it this time, but it was just so much going on. I didn't really want to waste any time going down to the courthouse and waiting around to get it certified copy. So I'll do that the next time I go home. I'll go home again at least this summer and maybe in the fall as well to see my three sisters that live back in Terre Haute. Because I really don't want to just take off and not see them again. And I don't make this last trip the last time I see them. So I have to go back at least probably 2 more times. So I may even do it during the winter ticket if I retire and done working by January. I may go back in January as well. Because then if I get snowed in, it's no big whoop, as long as I leave myself enough time to come back. So I'll get home at least 2, maybe 3 more times to see my sisters. Because who knows? Excuse me a minute, guys. I'm going to turn off my camera for a second. But anyway, I couldn't tell you how long my sisters, without being able to see them once I go over. 2 of my sisters would not travel. They're not healthy enough. One of them has MS, and she's really lucky because it's slow progressive MS. She's had it for about 40 years and still walk. Now she has to use a cane or what they call a rope. I don't know if it's the correct term or not, but my sisters call it a roller aid, which is a device that you can roll along and it's got a seat. So when you get tired, you can stop it, lock the wheels, and sit down and take a break. Both my sisters that live together, the 2 I'm talking about, both of them use that occasionally. My one sister that uses it that doesn't have MS, well, she makes me look like I'm healthy and in good shape. And she has sleep apnea, she has thyroid problems and all that. So do I, but she's gotten more shape than I am. She's about 4 years older than I am, and my other sister's 5 years older than me. But they've been in bad shape for a very long time. Now my little sister, who knows? She may come over and visit. My little sister's like 62. Let's see, 63 right now. And she'll be 64 in April. All right, that's my youngest sister. My oldest sister's 81. She'll be 82 in April. So like I said, there's about 18 years difference. Hey, Dad. Hey, Danny. Bad news, and I guess good news. Bad news is my mother passed away. We buried her last Saturday. And the good news is that now means I'm free up to start saving up and start making plans to move to the Philippines. And if everything goes the way I want it to go, I'll be there in January or February next year. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Crazy. I'm really trying to set myself up to move to the benefit. I'm in the VA system right now. So what benefits are you talking about, Tim? I do all my medical through the VA right now. I have my VA identification card, and I'm doing all that already. I don't know if there's something else you're talking about signing up for. Yeah, my CPAP, all my medicine, all that comes through the VA. So yeah, that's already taken care of. Has been for a few years. I used to have really good medical insurance, and the company I worked for filed for what is it, Chapter 11 or basically bankruptcy. What is FMP coverage? I don't know if I'm entitled to that. Thank you, Danny. She was 99 years old. She had dementia. That would come and go. Sometimes she'd be sharp as a tack, and other times she wouldn't know well, the last time she didn't know who I was, but there was times she didn't know my sisters who she used to live with. For a long time, she lived with my sisters. And she introduced them to somebody as her friends because she didn't know who they were. They were in her room, so they were her friends. She didn't know anything. All right, I'll check. I'll check and see if there's anything I can do about that. My next VA doctor's appointment. I got one for sleep apnea, but I don't know if that's what that is. But we'll start checking into that stuff too. Thanks. But so yeah, she always said she didn't want to live to be 100, so she got her wish. But yeah, she ended up with I think it was pneumonia, is what ended up killing her. She had, I believe it was pneumonia, and she had a do not resuscitate order. She did not want to be. If she passed, she did not want to be resuscitated. So they asked my sisters, and they said, "Didn't she have one?" They said, "Yes, she has a do not resuscitate, but we got to check with you." My sister says, "No, honor her wishes because that's what she wants." And yeah, she did, Daddy. Outside the last, my mom, even at 90 and 92, got around really well. But then she started having more and more trouble, and she had dementia for a while, and that helped with the downfall. Now, her dad and his dad both lived to be around 92, 93, somewhere in there. Her older brother lived to be about 92 or a little older. I know he's at least 92. And then she has an uncle on her mother's side, a great uncle. I believe it was a great uncle to her. A great to me, I believe. He lived to be about 97, 98 himself. And he was in pretty good health until the last year or so. And so, yeah, there's some longevity on my mom's side. My dad, mom, she lived to be 88, but his dad died when my dad was only about 10 or 11. My father died at 61, so my dad's side's not as much longevity as my mom's side. And I've already outlived both of my brothers. So it's pretty good. Danny, how's your plans going? Yeah, I know that because I've seen the videos of your mom and Uncle Kenny over in the Philippines with you. So, but how did you? So how's your? I know you want to get to move back to the Philippines and actually move permanently. You got any further update on that one, Danny? Are you closer to moving back than I am? Now, for those of you that don't know, Danny is a nurse here in the States. He's married to a Filipina, and she stays in the Philippines. Okay. And he goes back and forth. He'll come back to the States, work for a while, make some good money, then he'll go over for a couple months and visit his wife and her, the kid. And then he comes back to the States and works for a while, then does it again, goes back. Now, he was talking about his mom and his Uncle Kenny, her brother. He's got a few videos up of them being over in the Philippines with him. And Uncle Kenny is a daredevil for an older guy. And because of his being such a daredevil, he did get hurt. And that means his wife, I'm talking about Danny's wife, it was became protective, if not overprotective, is Uncle Kenny. And she's always mad at Danny because he takes chances too. But yeah, his videos are very good. You'll enjoy it, Seth. Seth Mooshing joined you, Danny, in case you didn't notice that. And okay, so you are planning on retiring this year then? You just haven't got the date yet. Okay. Now, see, Danny's one of the people that when I go to Davao to visit, yeah, he's a daredevil, all right. When I do go to Davao to visit, because I probably will visit Davao, even if I don't move there, just to see the place. Danny and Jamie will be the two I want to see over there. Jamie is a Canadian, and he does pretty much the same thing Danny does, back and forth. He comes back and works for a while, then goes back to the Philippines. And I don't think has Jamie and his wife bought the property yet and started building the house or not. Now Danny's already built his house. Got a beautiful home. And you've got a an in-law house built too on their property. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's some interesting things going on. Danny's probably done a lot of this research because he's been going back and forth quite a while. But I have to set up, like I said, a virtual mailbox. I do have a PayPal. I have sent money to the Philippines quite a few times by PayPal. So that's already well established. It's something you need to establish just so it's not. So if you need to, you can send money to yourself. Like I said, I want to use USAA. Try to make that my main source of income. Way of getting my income in the Philippines. I know they've looked at some, but they didn't like the ones they looked at that I know of. But yeah, that one piece of property was really thin. It was long, but it was kind of narrow. I would have cared for that myself. I don't plan on buying any land. I don't plan on building a house. So he's already over there then. All right. I thought maybe he was back in Canada. But so I hope he's having a good time. Like I said, the Val City is the one I'd like to visit. I like the fact that they have the 911 system. But I don't know how much I like all the earthquakes you guys have over there. But it is a place I want to check out. All right, Tim, you take care, man. Tell your girlfriend hi. If that's who's coming, that's normally who's coming. Enjoy yourself, man. And so, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I got to do. Like I said, the virtual mailbox, set up the bank account that I will be able to use. It's going to be the credit union that I can use in the Philippines. Check into how if I could split my Social Security in between Bank of America and USAA, because I want most of the money going to USAA because that'll be my living allowance or however you want to look at it. And then I have so much money going to the Bank of America because that'll be my savings, Now, if I can't split it, it'll all go into USAA. Just have to do it because I trust USAA Federal Credit Union on getting my money in the Philippines better than I do the Bank of America. And then I got to, like I said, I also have to talk to Social Security about that. I have to talk to Bank of America to see what's going on. I'm going to start buying Filipino pesos. Yeah, I knew he goes back and forth to work all the time. But like I said, though, so it's stuff that I got to start looking into a little more. Hey, Sammy, how you doing? Sammy, just to let you know, because I'm sure I've told you before, I wasn't going to the Philippines till my mom passed. Well, I just married my mom last Saturday. And my lease doesn't run out till February. So I'm trying to set myself up to, hey, Anna B, how you doing? Trying to set myself up to, what's going on here? I don't see. But trying to set myself up so next year in February or January, I'll be able to move over. And so I'm planning on moving to the Philippines next year, early next year if I can. And I do plan on stopping in Cebu first and checking that out. But I also plan on going to other places to visit. I plan on going to visit Dumaguete. I also plan on visiting Valencia. But like I said, I don't know how quick I'll go to those places. I'll probably pretty much stay around Cebu for the first couple of months. But if I don't, it'll be probably Dumaguete and Valencia, the first places I venture to, because they're not that far. They're just a short ferry ride or a short airplane trip. And so if everything goes right, next year this time I'll be setting in Cebu, Philippines, trying to decide where I want to live for, as a permanent landing spot, whether it's Cebu or somewhere else. I think Cebu is a good place for me to start. And I'll have everything I want available to me. Yes, I do. I'll let you know when I'm going for sure. Like I said, I got to start doing a lot more research. I got to set up a virtual mailbox. I got to figure out exactly which banks I want to use. I'm leaning towards a USAA Federal Credit Union. It's a military credit union, which I'm entitled to use. So that's what I'm going to use, that one. And do I keep another bank or not? I'm going to start buying, I think, some Filipino pesos. I'll probably go into the bank maybe tomorrow or Monday. I can't go in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Maybe on Monday I'll go in. This is what happens when you take a nice long vacation. You forget what day it is. I'll really get confused when I retire at first. But yeah, like I said, for me, it's something I've been wanting to do for a few years. I started following. I've been on YouTube now for I don't know how many years, quite a few years, and I've been following bloggers in the Philippines for as long as I've been on YouTube. And so it's something I decided. At first, I was thinking between the Philippines and Thailand. I'll be honest with y'all. I was kind of torn between the two. It's been longer than 4 years. Now, we've known each other 4 years, but I've been on YouTube, not producing my own content, but I've been on YouTube for years. 8, 10 years I've been following YouTube, some channels. And but I didn't start producing my own content about 2 or 3 years ago. And but before that, I was following people. But like I said, I first started following. I think it was the first guy I followed. I think was in Thailand. Then I found a guy in the Philippines, and so every time I added a Filipino or a Thailand, I added the opposite for a long time because I'm trying to figure out, get a lot of different points of views, following women, men, foreigners. When I say foreigners, I mean expats like I'll be, our locals, Filipinos like Sammy or I can't. There's a few that was in Thailand I followed, and I followed them, and trying to decide which area would I be more comfortable with, which area I think I would like more. And the more and more I watched, the more and more I was convinced it was the Philippines. And so I just started dropping almost everybody that was in Thailand, dropped almost all of them. And I decided the Philippines is where I wanted to go. And there was many different reasons for that. And I'm going to have both. I don't want to. The reason why I'm going to buy the pesos right now, it's 57 pesos to 1. Who knows what's going to be a year from now? It may be higher, it may be lower. So I want to get some pesos. Start buying a few hundred US dollars converted into pesos, each month, I think. Because when I get there, I don't want to have to stop anywhere and break a $100 bill where people can see me breaking it and knowing how much money I broke. I don't want to have to do any of that. Once I get to where I'm going, I want to have enough cash that I can pay for what I need when I first get there with pesos and not have to worry about. I'm going to have $100 bills with me too. I'm going to have both. And I want enough money that I can go pay for my take to a hotel or not a hotel, listen to me, a cab or a Grab with cash from, and also maybe for the first night or two at the hotel. So I want a few $100 worth of pesos. That's all there is to it. And then I want a lot more in US $100 bills, but you got to start getting, I think I need to start getting that now instead of waiting, because as you know, the $100 bills can't have any marks on it. They don't want it folded or bent or anything like that. So to get the money you want, it's going to take a while probably. It might not, but I'll check. I'll stop in my Bank of America that I actually have right now. I'll stop in and start talking with them and see what they think. But I'm going to get the pesos right now. Well, that's what I'm going to check. But like I said, though, we'll see. If it's under 50, I'm not going to do it. Because, but if it's, and let's say it's 56, I'll still buy it. Because it's, remember now, just a couple of months ago, it was at 58, almost 59. It was around 59 pesos to $1. It's been going down. So if I wait, it may get down to 50 or less. And so I want to get it while it's still up, at least a little higher up, if I can, and have a couple $100 US dollars worth of pesos with me. Because like I said, because that way I can pay for it when I first get there without having to go to a bank and have money that I can spend. Well, I got PayPal, so I'm wondering. I've sent money to the Philippines. I got to check and see if I can send money to myself, or do it if I have to send it to somebody else and then get it from them. That'll be a little more difficult because it's going to be you can trust. We got Sammy coming up, folks. Hey, Sammy.
Hello, Kuya. You can hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, wait.
So how you doing, Sammy?
I'm pretty good, Kuya. You can hear me well.
Give me a second here.
I'm using my
That's better.
I'm using my tablet. Yeah, I'm using my tablet and I need to use AirPods and it.
Okay.
And I'm too shy to open my camera because my camera of this tablet is so I'm looks like I am a black American. It looks like I'm from Nigeria. Look at me. Look at that.
Now,
So
you
dark.
do look a little darker, but that's all right.
Yeah, it looks like that I am from the under the sun for how many how many weeks?
So how you been?
I've been doing good. Hi, Kuya Danny. How are you?
Well, that's
I've been
good.
doing good. Yeah.
So
Finally,
are you back home now, or are you staying somewhere else?
it's been a while, Kuya. It's been a while that I am here in my house. It's because my best
Well, I know you
friend.
went back to your house, but that don't mean that's where you're still at. Because I know you go to Dumaguete once in a while. Come on.
Yeah, Kuya Naki is already have his own apartment and his girlfriend too as well. So that is the reason why that because I miss the life over here in the province, Kuya, that so close to the ocean. Yeah, so
I
I can watch
understand.
the sunset every afternoon. It's
I'm just not a province boy myself. Uh,
mm-hmm.
I my hometown's like It's small. My hometown's only about 70,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
But I've lived in towns with, our cities of 3 million people. Uh,
Mm-hmm. We
so
looks like coffee and milk, kuya.
got your cream.
We looks like it
You
looks
know
like
what?
I have a cream in my coffee, joke.
I drink my coffee black, baby.
uh,
But
that's what I love about last time that I do a live stream, kuya. That I say what the f. Because my phone, my S23 dropped last time, and then there's a crack on it over here in the side, and then there's a lot of crack in the glass. But it's
yeah,
still, I can still use it though, but I wasn't overuse it, so that is why I decided to use this tablet.
okay. Well, like I
Yeah.
said, you weren't here earlier. I don't plan on taking either one of the laptops I have right now. I may buy a new one to take with me, but both
Oh,
laptops, the newest one's over 5 years old. That's the newest
oh
laptop I
wow.
got. Yeah,
But
so it's time.
it's still running, right?
Yeah, it still
As
runs,
long
but
as
it's
you
not as
can use
it's
it.
not real good anymore. So I'll get.
Ah,
And the
okay.
other one I haven't used in so long I don't even know if it works anymore. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but now the desktop that I'm on right now, I may try to send over. I won't take it with me, but I may try to send it over later once I know where I'm staying. Uh,
Ah, okay. So you are
but
going to retire here in the Philippines?
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow, that's awesome.
yeah. My
You must
like I
have
said,
to find
I would.
a lovely job, so yeah. You must have to
Now,
find
like
a
I said,
lovely job.
I was going to go until after my mom passed, and so we buried her
I'm
last
so sorry to
Saturday.
hear that.
Yeah, she was 99, and all
Mm-hmm.
my sisters know I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Two of them are all for it, and the other two are like, "Well, we won't see you anymore." No, I'm sorry. I got to live my life for me.
Yeah, sure.
I stayed here as long as I did, mainly because of my mom, but also because I wanted to save money. And my lease is good. I've already signed my lease through uh, February next year. So I'm going to try to get
Mm-hmm.
out of here in January or February next year. Now I may
You
have
have a lot
to,
of friends that who already here, Kuya, so you may know, and then you have an idea.
yeah,
Just be
oh yeah,
careful of the red flag, okay? It's
yeah.
because
Like
there's
I
a
said,
lot of toxic stuff
there's
going on here.
Danny, Road to the Philippines. He goes back
Yeah,
and forth. Dan and Man Minnie.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Kuya Dan is always here, yeah,
yeah,
I'm so happy for that. And also, what is that, Jane? Is that I forgot his YouTube channel though, but I always watch his video.
yeah. There's
His
quite a
best
few of
friend.
that. There's Jamie, off the cuff adventures
Again,
with Jamie.
yeah, that is the
Uh,
best friend of Kuya Road to the
well,
Philippines.
he's in Davao right now, but Danny said he's getting ready to go back in April or May to go back to work for a while in Canada. Uh, Everybody's wanting me to bring chocolate.
Of the of the yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, Kuya. That's it, Kuya. Road to the Philippines, and then what do you call this one, Kuya Johnny? Yeah, I
Danny,
saw his post in Facebook too as well, so I'm so happy though.
yeah. And there's Tim Desi. He's in Angeles. So
Yeah.
there's different ones I know that uh, at different areas, and I I do want to get around after I get there and get settled in for a couple of months. I'll want to start moving around a little bit to visit, not to, you know, to take vacation. Vacation from retirement. That
Mm-hmm.
sounds weird. Huh.
Sorry.
I have been working most of my life. All right, I'm
Uh-huh.
71 years old. I got my very first job that wasn't a paper route at 15 years old. Now, I also got fired from that job after just about 2 weeks. And then the next year at 16, I got a job. I worked that until I quit just before I went in the Navy. And I've been working off and on ever since. Most of the time on, because a lot of times when I was off, I was going to college. So I was still kind of like working. Uh, so, yeah, I am really looking forward to retirement. If I stayed here, I have to keep working. And so that's one of the problems, that I found trouble with. The only places I could go that I could afford to live without working. Let me turn that down that way. Would be places I wouldn't want to live. I mean, they're really dumpy places. Probably very little, if any, entertainment. Good hospitals would be a long way away. I would probably have to have a car and maintain it, which having a vehicle in the United States can cost you a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
The car I have, I got a really nice car. I bought it brand new, first brand new car I ever bought. And I really didn't want to buy a brand new one, but I had to because I didn't have to, but I would be overpaying for a used one. And at that time, it just wasn't worth overpaying for a used car. And I bought a brand new one, and the payment of that one would cost me as much as a nice condo in Dumaguete or it would cost, and that's just the payment, not the upkeep, not the insurance. Because I mean, my vehicle payment is almost $400 a month. Okay, so like I said, I can get a pretty nice place in the Philippines for $400 a month. It may not be a great place, but it'd be a nice place.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what I'm saying. So I mean, do I and to be able to afford that car without working here in the States, I'd have to live in some dump. I mean, a dump, and in a dumpy town with nothing. No good hospitals. A good hospital probably 20, 30 miles away. No entertainment. Probably crime infested. So, I really don't want to live that way. So I'd have to keep working, and I'm tired of working. So I have a decent start on savings. I'm just going to have to save some more money. And that's what this time frame till February gives me time to save more money. And then when I'm done, I'm going to sell all my furniture. They have used furniture places that'll come in. They'll make a bid on it. And as long as they take all of it, but like I said, I got a antique coffee table. I'll see if any of the family wants it. If they want it, I'm not selling it. If they don't, they can have it too.
But don't lose contact with your family over there. Yeah, okay.
Lazille, how you doing? I'm not sure if I know Lazille. So welcome to the video, the live stream. I hope you're doing well.
Lazille Willie Vlog.
I don't know her.
Kuya Tim Dizia!
Yeah, he's back. He was here earlier. Tim was. Then he left. And
good morning, Kuya Tim. Morning.
Okay, I see what's going on. I just on my two phones, it's Sammy Good Morning, then Sir Tim. But on my computer, it's Sir Tim, then Sammy Good Morning. So I have me like, where's Sir Tim? Well, it's above it. But no, like I said, it's something I've been wanting to do. Move to the Philippines, that is, for quite some time. Because like I said, I used to watch videos on the Philippines and videos on Thailand, trying to decide. And I made a decision a few years back that Thailand doesn't interest me enough to want to move there.
If you are a bit younger, Kuya, if you are a bit more younger and more active in bed, you can go to Thailand.
I really don't want to go to Thailand. And you're right, I'm not very active.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you can still get five times a night, oh, you can go with it.
But anyway, so it
Oh
just
my
it's
god.
just that, like I said, I worked with Filipinos in the Navy, met their families, and they were all really good people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, English is much more widely spoken in the Philippines, so I can travel around by myself
Uh-huh.
and and be able to communicate with people and enjoy myself. Uh,
Yeah,
the
if you're first timer here in the Philippines, right?
No, I was there in the Navy.
But
Well,
it's
it was
been a
many years ago.
while. It's been a
Many
while.
years ago.
Yeah, you must have to be careful of especially a Grab or a taxi. You must have to be careful. And maybe you can exchange money in the airport directly to peso.
I plan on getting some money here in the states. See, I'm going to check in to see how much it would cost me to buy Filipino pesos. I know the exchange rate right now is 57 something, so I'll check with the
Oh,
bank. It's close to that. If it is, I'll start buying pesos so I don't have to worry about exchanging money in the airport
yeah, true.
anymore when I first get there. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's something I got to check into. I'll check into that this week. I can't do it tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday and here in the
Mm-hmm.
states, so I'll have to do that Monday or one day next week. Uh,
You can meet Kuya Tim Divya first in Angeles. Oh yeah.
uh, Angeles, but like I said, I want to go to Cebu first. Uh,
Yeah, but Angeles is so far in Manila though.
yeah. Well, I want to go to Manila eventually. I want to visit. They have
Mm-hmm.
the World War II American Cemetery there. I want to see that.
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
that
true.
Grand Canal Mall, the Venice
Yeah.
Grand Canal Mall. I really like to
Mm-hmm.
see that. Why I'm there. I mean, there's some things. Some of the stuff would be like, it's all right if I never see it, but if I'm going to be there for one of it, I might as well see all of them that I find interesting. And also that's an area that if you uh, decide that Cebu is not for you, outside of that area, maybe some places that'll be decent to live because that puts you close to the hospitals there in Manila, which are top-rated hospitals. Uh,
Yeah.
and like I said, as an older guy, I want to be near a good hospital. So that's why Cebu for right now, and then I'll check out other places if I decide I don't like Cebu. Uh, it may be that Cebu's too noisy. It may be it's too large. It may be that.
No, Cebu is not it's not that large, Kuya. Cebu is not that large.
Well, I'm just saying for me, it may not be too large. That's what I'm saying. Each person is different. I may decide it's too large for me. Maybe I
Okay.
want something smaller, or I may decide it's not large enough. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so when I first get there, that first probably 2 months or more, I'm going to be extremely happy. Okay, I know me.
Mhm.
I love going to a new
Just
place.
pray for your wants and happiness, Kuya.
Yeah, like I
That's
said,
just pray for on that.
yeah. But like I said, I know me enough to know that when I go to someplace new, I love it. At
Mm-hmm.
first, then after a month or two, and the newness wears off, then do you like it? Because maybe you
Sure.
don't, maybe you do. It's like when I moved down here back in 2020, I loved it when I
Mm-hmm.
first got down here. I still like it, but I don't love it. But that first couple of months down here, I just loved everything. It was just great because it was new. But that's the way I am. It's the way I was when I moved to New York from Indiana when I was living up around my sister. Loved it. But I still liked it when I left. It was just the job I was working was over and I had to change jobs. I stayed with the same company, but I had to go to some. The place they were offering me didn't pay that well, but I could walk to it from where I was living. I'll tell you that I could walk there in 5 minutes. That's how close to where I lived. And I had friends down here, and they said, "Well, what about coming down here?" And I was like, "Right on, I'm gone. I need to change a peso."
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I flew by the seat of my pants, which means no big plan, and just okay, I'll go down and see what they got. And I stayed at
Yeah.
my friend's parents' place because they were staying with her. And I stayed there and found the job and within a month, I was over here where I'm at now. I moved here in February 15th, 2020. And I've been here ever since. But I paid for a month and a half, and like I said, my lease ends at the end of February every year. And as long as I sign a 1-year lease, this is the last 1-year lease I will sign, at least here in the States. Yeah, Tim, that's a good location. Tim says he lives within 15 minutes of 2 hospitals. That's a good location for us older expats. But
Yeah, true.
like I said, I want entertainment, which in the larger cities, but so does Dumaguete, which is smaller than Cebu. But I want that entertainment. I want a decent hospital. You got to have a good mall because during a brownout, you can go to the mall and it'll be air conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things I want. But like I said, a smaller city than Cebu can offer that to me. And so can a larger city. So it's all going to depend. Like I said, the first month or two, it's going to be paradise for me. I know that. That's just the way I am. Then it's how much do I like it after that? Well, the thing about Cebu is pretty much the same thing. From my understanding, they really don't get hit real hard with typhoons because of the way they're located, but they do get a lot of rain and heavy winds, but it's not that bad compared to other locations. And all that stuff is taken into consideration. How about earthquakes, typhoons, that kind of stuff? And like I said, good hospitals. So that's why I want Cebu. It's what a lot of expats would refer to as a soft landing, which means you get there, a lot of English speaking, a lot of entertainment, a lot of other expats, a lot of Western amenities. So you get all the stuff from home that you can have if you want it. It's there. So it's a very soft landing for somebody like myself. And that's another reason for Cebu. And that's true. Earthquakes can happen almost anywhere in the United States, too. Now, granted, the Philippines will usually have worse ones than some of us. But I have been through an earthquake here in New York State. I've been through an earthquake in Indiana. And I've been through a couple of earthquakes in California. California are the worst. But I've never been through a really bad earthquake. I was lucky enough that if they had the bad ones, I wasn't around when they had them. Like I said, I was in the Navy, so maybe I was overseas. Maybe I was out to sea. But yeah, you're right. They can happen, especially in the Philippines. They're going to be worse than what probably would happen in New York or Indiana or that area there. But they can't happen. We don't get the typhoons in the Midwest, but you get our tornadoes, which are very deadly. I'll tell you, Sammy, a tornado, the wind is so wicked, it can pick up a plastic straw and put it through a tree. Just right through the tree. That's what the wind. That's how strong the winds can get in a tornado. They can tear things up. I mean, and I've been on the edge of tornadoes before. I've had a tornado just tear up the place a block or two over from where I lived. I've had them jump over the house where I was at, and I'm talking about back in Indiana. Jumped over the whole neighborhood where I was living when I was a kid. And on both sides of the neighborhood, things got tore up, not necessarily houses, but land and stuff like that. Because on one side, it was mostly just property. I mean, farmers' fields and trees and stuff. But it just jumped over the whole neighborhood where I was living. This is back when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. And you go driving.
Common over there, kuya, to have like tornado shelter, underground shelter
Yeah,
like that.
they have what they well. they have storm shelters in the Midwest, and that you can go in and close the door, close the thing on it. If you're in a house without a storm shelter or a basement, it's best to get in a room that's got the best infrastructure. Maybe climb inside a tub, so in case something falls down, it'll help protect you. If you're out in the open, if there's a ditch, get into a ditch. A tornado won't go down into the ditch; it'll go over it. It may drop something on you, but the chances of it that is slimmer than if you're out in the open where it picks you up and throws you who knows where. Now the tornadoes, this has happened. This is a true story. I was living out here, but it was on the news. Tornadoes hit down in Evansville, Indiana, which is a couple hours south from where I'm from. And this baby got picked up, and they found the baby a couple miles away from where it was picked up, laying in mud, safe. The tornado just set the baby down without really hurting the baby. I mean, I'm sure it was scared as all get out, frightened as all like crazy, but physical harm, it wasn't really harmed. And that's an amazing thing. Because, I mean, it can pick up cows, cars, whatever, and just toss them, tear off roofs of buildings, just totally destroy buildings. And like I said, it can destroy one building and the building right next to it not be touched. It's crazy how it does it. But like I said, I've had tornadoes hit within a block or two where I was at and just tear everything up over there and not do anything where I was at. So I've been lucky that way. But like I said, a lot of houses in the Midwest do have basements, or they have storm cellars. And most people will get down in the storm cellar if they have one. And so like I said, every place you go has its natural disasters.
True.
And they also have what they call straight winds. Now, straight wind is I'm frozen in my picture. I don't know why, but okay. But a straight wind does a lot of damage as well. But you can tell the difference between straight wind damage and a tornado damage simply because in a tornado, the destruction, everything is just tossed every direction. But a straight wind, when it comes down, everything gets laid flat in one direction. It comes straight down and just flattens everything in one direction or the other. There's no things twisted. There's no things strewn all about as with a tornado it would be. So, yeah, like I said, it'll be adjustment because it's been so many years since I've been in areas where earthquakes are more common. But, like I said, everything, I'll tell you how bad things can get sometimes. A few years back, I was down in New Orleans. I took some friends down. A whole family I know, I drove them down. They paid for the gas and everything. I did the driving. We went down to New Orleans, and I'm watching the news, and Buffalo got hit with 7 foot of snow within just a couple of days. Imagine that, 7 feet of snow.
Wow.
Now, my sister lives about 30 miles from Buffalo. So I called my sister and asked her how bad it got.
That's too high snow.
She didn't get any snow. And I go through Buffalo a couple of days later, and the snow has been completely removed from the roads. Roads are completely clear, but you can see it snowed quite a bit. That same year, Rochester, New York, which usually gets about 100 inches of snow a year, close to that. They have a winter festival, right? They take the snow and pile it up and have make little ski slopes with the kids to play and all that good happy stuff. And they didn't get any snow and so they trucked the snow in. They had truckloads of snow brought in from Buffalo to have their Winterfest, and that made the national news because they had to do that. And that was the exact same winter, where the Buffalo got 7 foot and Rochester didn't get any. But yeah, that made the national news too because they had to truck it in. But yeah, like I said, here in the northeast part of the country, you can get a lot of snow, or you can my last video that I just did, I showed the snow. That's very late in March. We're already in the spring, but you can get snow up until April or May out here. It's not common to get it that,
Next month,
but it's not.
April.
It's just not that uncommon either. You can get. I was back home in Terre Haute with my oldest sister. We were back home visiting the family, and this is when I still lived up close to my sister. And it's a gorgeous. It's in October. It's about the middle of October. Gorgeous day, about 80 degrees, maybe a little warmer. Very low humidity. Absolute gorgeous day. And my brother-in-law calls and says, "Look, if you guys want to get home by Monday, you better leave today." So they're calling for a snowstorm in Cleveland. So we take off.
But if you are here in the Philippines, Kuya, you must have to find always a cold place.
Yeah, I'd rather try to find a cool place than a warm place. But anyway, when we got to Cleveland, they had a couple feet on the snow on the ground already. This is the middle of October. It was very rough driving through that. The speed limit in the area I was at was like 60, 65 miles per hour, not kilometers. I'm doing maybe 30 or less because of the snow.
Wow.
But usually it took me more than double the time to get around that Cleveland. And I get on the next throughway, and there's snow, but not like it was on that one I just got off of. I find a break area, I pull off because I had to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we finally get done eating and taking a break, we get back on the throughway and they got the road cleared. We called a friend of mine friend of my sister's and mine that lived in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we spent the night there. They didn't have any snow. We left there the next morning. They ended up getting about 6 inches that next day, which is not very bad. And we make it back. Buffalo didn't have any. Rochester didn't have any. But like I said, in Terre Haute, it was 80 degrees. There was no way it was going to snow in Terre Haute. That's just too warm. It'd be rain, if anything. But like I said, yeah, I don't know if you know just how large the United States is. From one side of the United States to the other side is over 3,000 miles. That's the longest.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got all kinds of weather, all kinds of different weather for different places. You got areas that are very similar to the Philippines. Normally, now that they do get snow occasionally there, but where you guys don't. But you go to Texas or Florida during the summer, it's hot, it's humid. I mean, it's like in the 90s or more, and it's very humid, just like the Philippines. Now, the winters get colder than you guys get. But, yeah.
What states that you have 10-foot snow at the moment, Kuya? I forget that it's you mentioned it last night.
Montana, some of those states there get a lot of snow. I'd say Montana, Nevada in certain areas. Certain areas won't get any because it's desert. Wyoming, the mountains will get a lot of snow. Denver, which is Colorado, they get a lot of snow because they've got a lot of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Denver is a mile above sea level. That's a city there in Colorado. They get a lot of snow. Uh, well, I hope you're enjoying doing your laundry, Setsubushi. I got to do mine sometime. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow or wait till Tuesday. I was going to do it today, but it was kind of rainy, misty, and I didn't feel like dealing with it today because of that. Yeah, Tim, don't get me wrong. I know 95 is going to be hot as all get out. Don't get me wrong there. I've been in 95-degree weather back home many a time, but I still prefer that over 30, 32, 20. I'm talking about 1, 0 Celsius. You get cold. I've had people say, well, I can stay indoors. I say, well, I can go outside and get in the swimming pool. I can put on more clothes. I can take more off. I just as soon not be cold. I hate cold. And so once I get there, I may have to go to, Tim, I may have to go to an area like Valencia if it's so hot that I can't really handle it. Those are areas that are higher in elevation, so they're a little cooler. I may have to do something like that. Like I said, that's something I'll figure out when I get there. The Cebu is where I'm going to start at, and then we'll make decisions as we go. There's areas I want to check out. Some of those areas will be a little higher in elevation. Like I said, Valencia. Although I don't think Valencia is very cheap. There might be cheaper places, but the videos I've seen, they show the nicer places. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't afford it. I just don't know if I want to spend that much of my income on it.
True. That can fit your budget.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Baguio would be very cool, but I just don't know if I want to live that high up. Because it may get to where I would have to wear a jacket once in a while, and I really don't want to wear a jacket. I'm not saying I would have to when I first get there. I wouldn't. It would take me a while to adjust. And once you get adjusted to the temperature, it's like when I went in the Navy.
Because
I
if
went
you
in
want
March.
to live a little bit luxury, it's expensive.
Like I said, I went into the Navy in March, and we had snow on the ground. Southern California, San Diego doesn't. And now, when I first got out there, a light jacket during the winter is all you needed to wear during the winter. Because it get down in the 40s, 50s, and occasionally the 30s, but usually 40s or 50s for the low. And so for me, that wasn't cold. It was cool, but it wasn't cold. But after a couple of years out there, I started wearing winter coats at night because it was cold to me, because I got adjusted to the weather. And so hopefully I'll be able to adjust to the weather in the Philippines where it won't feel so hot. It's the humidity will bother me more than the heat. Let's be honest about it. So that's something everybody has to deal with one way or another. Probably more showers than I'm used to. Maybe staying indoors during the hottest part of the day, maybe part of my routine. Because I know I'm going to want to air condition in whatever place I live. I don't know if I'll run it 24/7, but I'm going to want it available. So if the day gets too hot or humid, I can turn it on and be comfortable. Maybe I can turn it off at night and just have a fan on. Won't know until I get there. And so those are things I'll learn after I go over. And I know it's probably everybody's probably getting bored. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I want to thank you, Sammy, for coming up and
It's
keeping
my
me
pleasure.
company.
And
But
thank you so much for
I will definitely
bringing
let
up.
you know when I'm going.
Yeah, sure, Kuya.
Hey, Lorraine. Sorry, Lorraine. I'm just getting ready to shut it down. I hope you and the baby are doing well. And in case you didn't hear, or you probably didn't hear me, I plan on moving to the Philippines now in January or February next year if everything goes right. So I just want to let you know that we're really looking forward to the move, and I hope everything goes right so I can do this soon. I'm tired of working. I like to go and where I can relax and do videos and nothing else. Because there's a lot of things I'll take videos of because other people have done it, but it'll be the first time I've seen it. So I want to show it to people. I have family members that follow me on my YouTube channel, and so that I'll let them see what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. So it'll be a way to keep connected with them as well as connecting with you guys. So I will definitely have to bring some chocolate for people because everybody's telling me they want chocolate.
Really.
And
Just bring yourself.
oh, that's all right. I'll bring some chocolate too. I don't mind. I don't know how much I'll bring, but I'll bring chocolate. But yeah, I'm going to bring myself.
There's a lot of chocolate here, Kuya, that imported, like
Yeah,
from United States, something like that. There's a lot in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, but that I'll guarantee you that doesn't taste as good as the stuff I'll bring from here because it's different. They use the American style candy that you get is not made in America. I think it's made in Thailand, I believe, and they use slightly different ingredients. So there is a difference in the taste, and so I'll bring some American chocolate with me. Some Snickers, some Kisses, some of that kind of stuff. It'll be stuff that I can carry because if you ship it, it would melt. So I'll probably have a bag that's got a lot of candy and some clothes. I'll have both. And then I'll have a carry-on. I'll just have clothing and my CPAP machine. But yeah, I'll have to check on getting that.
What I love from there, Kuya, is the salted pistachio. Because I tried to buy a salted pistachio here. It's different taste.
Yeah. Now there's a different taste between the chocolates that you get. I'm sure I can adjust to the chocolate there, but I don't eat that much chocolate, so I do eat it occasionally, but it's not a lot. I have maybe a chocolate candy bar once a week, maybe, if that. I do eat more sweets than I should, but candy itself, a candy bar itself is usually about once a week. And so, all right, everybody. Like I said, I need to go ahead and finish this one up. I gotta run it out of tea.
See you next time. Bye
Yeah,
for now, Kuya Ting.
Like I said, I'll let everybody know about when I'm coming, and
Yes.
you'll know for sure that I'm there when I do a live stream or something, and it's called "Guess Where I'm At." Because if I do a live stream, it says, "Guess where I'm at," I'm in the Philippines somewhere. So, all right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay healthy. Plus, try to have fun. All right, take care, man. We're going to close this one down. And I want to thank you all for being here. Bye.